Apple Store as well. Big thanks to Tony D for tossing it to us in the previous hour. Tony D Show, Sportsline Bulldog Hour. Tony D from 2 to 3 p.m. on this weekdays. 2 to 3, like I said. If you didn't miss any of his show, you can listen to it on demand as every episode is posted on the website there. You can also listen to my show. You can also listen to Paul Matter's show, the Central Valley Sports Report, live from 10 a.m. to noon on Saturdays live from First String Sports. We are here, like I said, excited to bring it to you. Of course, if you want to get in on the conversation, it is the Lee's Air Hotline. Lee's Air Hotline is 559-320-1430. That's right, 559-320-1430. If you want to get in on the conversation, what we're talking about today on our sports show here for the next 3 hours, call in. Be a part of the conversation here today. The Lee's Air Weather Check sitting at 77 degrees here in the Central Valley. Partly cloudy skies as we roll in for the next couple days. 77 tomorrow should be fantastic. And then on and off rain, cooler temperatures going into the weekend. Wow, I just suddenly see so many rain symbols on my 7-day forecast. I thought it was only tomorrow, but maybe we do get some more precip as we go along here over the next few days, potentially into the weekend. Should be fascinating as we pay attention to. It's going to get cold, people. It's going to get very cold here in the Central Valley, all things considering. Should be a good, cool, wintry feel throughout this time. We're here. 3 hours of the show should be a good one. What do we got for you, folks? Of course, we got fantastic couple of guests coming on the show today. Coming up within this hour, Coach Q going to join us in about 15 minutes or so. Coach Q, you can hear him on the broadcast, the Fresno State broadcast for basketball. Chat with him and get his perspective on week one of our basketball season and what we can expect in this non-conference, and just talk about the team in general. Excited to bring it up to him. I'm excited to chat with Coach Q. He's great. Fantastic. We'll also have our Benotti Blitz in the second hour today, ranking the games from worst to best. Should be a lot of fun there. And also, of course, in this final hour of our show on these Tuesdays that we always do, Asa in the afternoons. Asa will be joining us 5 to 6 p.m. So all kinds of shenanigans happening whenever he shows up. So we look forward to that conversation. Should be a lot of fun. A lot of stuff covered in terms of last night's football, in terms of what we can expect moving forward into this weekend of football as well. And we're going to predominantly stay there, of course, in reacting to the news as it goes along here. Maybe a little high school talk, maybe a little Fresno State talk as well. We'll dive into it all as we move in. Good to be joined by a couple of the producers today who are in the Peanut Gallery. It is Tanvir and Daniel, who are joining us as they always do on these Tuesdays. Guys, how are we doing on this Tuesday afternoon? How are we feeling after a weekend of sports and you guys coming in here? How are we doing on this Tuesday?
I've been pretty bored over these last couple of weeks in terms of the primetime games. I have not been satisfied with what we've been seeing in terms of that. But otherwise, pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Dale, how you doing?
I could be better. After this weekend, I've officially stated that I'm no longer an American football fan.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't even know what American football is.
What a declaration. Yeah, because your Steelers are a winning team, and there are other teams that would take that winning record in a heartbeat, right? Or
the division is being blown away right now.
Yeah. You're in the process. It certainly is. You're still in first, though. Still in first. You control your destiny, Daniel. Your Steelers control their destiny. All hope is not lost. It's. Although you feel like the delayed inevitable is coming for you. You play Baltimore in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Is that coming up? Yeah, That'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun in terms of that. That's a bowling ball careening right at you guys. It's good to be here. Good to be chatting with you guys and discussing everything sports-wise going in the world. Of course, just a reminder, over on 790 tonight, some of the programming we got tonight, Sharks and Wild from Minnesota. I think that game is on ESPN Plus and Hulu, so if you don't have that, you can listen to the game. That's a 4:30 pregame, and that is a 5 p.m. puck drop for San Jose and Minnesota in Minnesota. That is going to be, I believe, exclusively on ESPN Plus and Hulu. So, good opportunity to listen to the game right here on 790, over on 790 when it comes to that point. I'll see if I can get it on the TV. I'm fascinated. I'm wearing the Sharks hat, by the way. I'm wearing the Sharks hat because the Sharks are playing very good hockey. I didn't know if I'm going to start here or not, but I got to just point out how great the Sharks have been, and they're being highlighted. And Macklin Celebrini is absolutely lighting up the league. I don't know. I know you guys aren't hockey fans, and starting hockey on a Tuesday on the show is not where I thought I would go real quick, but I just want to point out the Sharks are above 500 for the first time since March 26th of 2022. Or actually, above. Yeah, I guess we'll call it above 500. Technically, the overtime losses count as well. It's 7-9, really, if you want to think about it. But let's for the argument, 7-6-3, and they're doing well. And I want to talk about it with Asa, so maybe I'll save that for you guys as well. I'm not going to quiz you on what you know about hockey in terms of the realms of anything. But, Tanvir, you mentioned it. The boredom of where these football primetime games have gone. At least we've been having a rough 3 straight, I would say, dating back to Thursday night for this week. So tough showing for the NFL in terms of it. Not going to lie, tough showing overall from the NFL this week in terms of, like, competitiveness. I think the only competitive game I would exclusively say, the Patriots-Bucks was maybe the most competitive.
The morning window was good.
I don't know if I could argue Houston-Jacksonville was, like, good, but it was a good comeback.
Right.
I don't know if that game necessarily was competitive down the stretch. What were there were the other morning Jets-Browns. Dolphins-Bills wasn't really competitive, but it was funny from the other perspective.
Right.
I don't really believe Buffalo was ever in that football game, so I don't know if I could qualify it as competitive. Didn't we talk about that game, by the way? We talked about how, like, the Bills are very, you never know, and Achane is certainly an aspect to it. We were talking about that when we were doing our Benotti bets last week. So,
Colts-Falcons was really good. The Berlin game.
I woke up just in time to see Jonathan Taylor rip off that 83-yarder, and I was like, all right, that's all I need to see for this game.
Beautiful for my MVP propaganda.
Yeah, your MVP propaganda is Tanvir, like many others. Feeling good about your fantasy team right now?
Oh, we're on a 4-game winning streak, baby. Let's go.
Do you have anything do you have a league statement to the rest of the teams out there and putting on notice? Yeah.
Once Omari Hampton comes back, it's up.
Oof. That's a big if.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, who knows if Omari Hampton's coming back this year.
I hope Kamani Vidal does not steal half his touches.
I need to give Bucky Irving a new shoulder. That's what needs to happen. I don't know why he continues to be sitting out. Apparently he's already out for this Bills game already, and I'm losing my mind. I'm starting Bill Krosky-Barrett and Tyrone Tracy at running back right now for a team that is 8-2. I don't know how I do it.
Yeah, and the Amari Cooper aspect of it all.
Yeah, Amari Cooper retired from my team. He saw me add him and retired from my team and said, you know what, I'm good. It wasn't the Raiders. It was being added to the team named Hukuna Nakua in terms of it as well. Anyways, nobody needs to hear about fantasy football. Good God, let's talk about last night's game, including what happened with our own Central Valley's Jordan Love last night in terms of the offensive futility that happened on a Monday night in Green Bay. And I'm not going to say it was like one of the worst games we've watched all year. I would say there was some maybe potential defensive strategy things going on, the flow of the game, not wanting to lose the game as it went, the Eagles trying to outlast it in terms of it. The pressure that the Eagles forced on Jordan Love was certainly an aspect to it. But let's be frank about it. It's Jordan Love, who I think some people here in the Central Valley are rooting for the kid to be successful and be warning his, his top tier contract that he's got. It is. I am not saying he is in the hot seat necessarily as a player and things could get figured out, but the last 2 weeks have certainly been alarming, especially at home, that the Packers have been only to muster 20 points of offense in 2 weeks against what we theoretically believe was a very vulnerable defense in the Carolina Panthers, and in a defense that has some pieces and, of course, is the one that can dominate on the front pit of the line, but has shown that they can get dominated down the stretch. Not too long ago, the Giants ran all over that team and did what they did. It's not like it's a complete elite defense from the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm getting concerned about what the Packers are looking like moving forward and what Jordan Love has store for him. But I We talked about how Jekyll and Hyde this team has been since they beat Detroit and thought, wow, this team looks like they're going to be world beaters in terms of it. But I don't know what is wrong other than the lack of execution in terms of what the Packers are. There are a lot of throws from Jordan Love that just bounced off of chests from Green Bay Packers last night. Potentially losing Tucker Kraft, of course, to the season has been brutal. No Golden last night as well, maybe a brutal loss as well. But too many times I think there were issues with the Packers all night in terms of connecting on the drops and everything like that. But your takes on the game last night from your perspectives, Daniel and Ted Veer. What was your prognosis of this Jordan Love offense right now?
I mean, it's completely sluggish. I personally have not been necessarily impressed with what Jordan Love has put out there on the field this season. Even though the Packers are a pretty good team, he's only gone above 300 passing yards twice this year. Once against Dallas, who is a bottom 3 passing defense, and then Pittsburgh as well, who's in the bottom half as well. And you know, as good as that defense has looked, because the defense is doing their job. They're 6th in EPA per play in terms of the rushing game, 14th. You know, they're in the upper half in terms of overall defense. I just think that the loss of the weapons is something that has affected him, especially in this game. I think it really did affect him. Losing Romeo Doubs midway through this game, Matthew Golden and Tucker Kraft, as you said. But a lot of what I'm seeing is he's progressing. He's going through his progressions way too quick, in my opinion. I think that he needs to stay and be able to look in terms of where a defense is opening up, and that's where the issue is. You know, he is running through his progressions way too quickly. I think that's a mix of like a lack of trust with his offensive line and not really that great of quarterback play. So I think that's the biggest issue with him right now. It's diagnosing those coverages and seeing where the soft spots are. But otherwise, you know, I think that a lot of the issues that have plagued this team is the fact that they don't have that like elite weapon over the top that can really, and they really have not over the last couple of years. And Packers fans have been wanting a receiver in the draft. They got one in Matthew Golden, and he hasn't panned out as like the elite guy. Maybe that's because they aren't targeting him enough.
Yeah,
right?
It's especially when they've lost. How many years have they not had Devontae now? 3 years, 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah, it's been 3 years.
Yeah, and they have yet to be able to replace him in any. They thought Christian Watson could be him in terms of that. Dobbs certainly hasn't been that in terms of it as well. Like all the drafting they've done at that position, and they continue to just not find guys that can match what Devontae has done from a second. Devontae was a second-round draft pick. They've been trying to recreate that for how many years now, and they have not been able to find another guy in that second to first round territory to develop and make him an elite wide receiver. The problem is, I don't think there were guys around these guys that are developing him. Like you think of Jordy Nelson, you think of Donald Driver, you think of all those James Jones, Greg Jennings. Those are dudes for the Packers. They don't have any guys just showing them, hey, this is how you play wide receiver in the national. It's just a bunch of young guys trying to figure it out. I'd be maddening. It'd be maddening as a Packer fan to sit there and say, where is our veteran presence in this locker room on the wide receiver front?
It's a lot of middle of the road guys, and I would rather, if I was a Packers fan or just in the Packers front office, you want to get that one.
Like Stephon Diggs was out there,
exactly.
Like I thought, if Stephon Diggs went to the Packers, I think they'd be a better unit. Like just having a veteran guy who kind of been through the NFL and say this is how you play wide receiver. That would have been an interesting signing. I don't know. There were some guys available potentially out there that could have done something. Maybe whatever it is. By the way, Green Bay now 1-3 in games where the opponent was held under 17 points this season. The rest of the league 62-5 in such games. Maybe it's a game flow thing. Maybe it's a rhythm thing. And when the Packers have a game that just gets stuck in the mud, they get stuck in the mud with it and don't have any rhythm to it. I believe in rhythm when it comes to offense. There's a rhythm to drives. There's a rhythm to making plays. It's like tempo in basketball to me. And maybe the Packers are a team that needs to feel the rhythm of a game as opposed to just stuck in the mud play by play and never really getting out of it. Maybe that's their ailment as well.
I mean, even in the wins, they haven't been necessarily impressive. You talk about the rhythm that they are catching and being able to catch that. I just feel like this whole season, this Packers team has just not been impressive beyond that Week 1 Detroit win. You just look at some of these games. They beat Arizona by 4 points. They lost to Cleveland by 3. They tied at Dallas 40-40. Only beating Cincinnati 27-18 with a new Joe Flacco there. Yeah. I have not been impressed by this team at all this year.
I think the Packers-Steeler game is like my second, I guess, best result. But now we know kind of where the Steelers are falling right now in terms of it. Sorry, Daniel. It seems to be losing its luster. And the Packers face the Giants, in which feels like a team they should beat, and who knows. And they got a big one against the Vikings. And then, of course, they got, Thanksgiving against the Lions. That's going to be absolutely maybe their Super Bowl this year before they can go through a stretch of the season where they go Bears, Broncos, Bears, a rejuvenated Ravens team, Vikings. It's not easy for Jordan Love and the Packers to see if they can get to a playoffs down the stretch. So they got to figure it out and figure it out quickly. 20 points in 2 games. By the way, lowest 2-game point total for Mike LaFleur in his career as a coach for the Packers this season. So there you go. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to get Coach Q on the line, talk some Fresno State basketball. They play tomorrow against UC San Diego. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Behind the Bench, just getting started here on 1430 ESPN.
Are you tired of waiting forever for your prescriptions? Grizzly Pharmacy is here to
DavisVanWagnenLaw.com. That's DavisVanWagnenLaw.com. Davis and Van Wagnen, your hometown injury attorneys.
Get ready for the ultimate Monday Night Showdown, only at Chickansey Gold. Starting September 8th through December 29th, win your share of $80,000 in giveaways, including $51,000 in e-cash. Earn entries all day Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. Then join us for drawings every Monday from 5 to 8 p.m. Swipe your rewards card during the game inside Firehouse Lounge for a free entry into over $28,000 in prizes, including football gear and more. Game day starts here at Chickansey Gold.
Need cash? If you've got a car, we've got the cash. Clausen Honda wants to buy your car. If it's running, we want your late model Toyota, Hyundai, Kia, Subaru, Acura, or Honda. Just call Clausen and ask for our VUP to schedule your appraisal appointment. In just 10 minutes, you'll get your cash value quote. Yes, we are eliminating the hassle of getting rid of your used old car. So if you're ready to sell, we are ready to buy. Call Clausen Honda of Fresno today. If you've got a car, we've got the cash. Get cash for your car. Clausen Honda.
Game day just got a whole lot sweeter and a little bit saucier. KFC's bringing back one of the most requested plays in menu history, the original Honey Barbecue. That's right, that sweet, smoky, finger-licking legend from the late 90s is back And better than ever, now you can get that classic honey barbecue flavor on everything, including their 2-piece chicken combo for $10.99 or the original honey barbecue chicken sandwich for $11.99. The original honey barbecue, sweet, savory, and back in the game. And it's happening only at KFC.
Hey, it's Ariana Grande.
And Blake Shelton.
And I'm so excited to join The Voice this season.
I'll put it on social media so everyone knows. Now get ready to hear the likes pouring in. Darn, the internet must be broken again.
I'll just give it a try on mine, just in case. Huh. Guess they fixed the internet.
The new season of The Voice with Ariana Grande premieres tonight on NBC.
Okay, now you're just rubbing it in.
ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. Very excited to bring in our next guest here on the Lee's Air Hotline. It's, you know him as Coach Q on the Fresno State broadcast for the basketball program. Coach, how are we doing on this Tuesday afternoon? Happy Veterans Day to you, sir.
Well, Big Phil, I'm happy to be on, honored to be on your show, of course, and if you can let me tell the veterans out there how much I appreciate them and my family members, my Uncle Mifflin, Uncle Herbert, another one through marriage, Mr. Will Hoyt out in Atwater, my family that fought in World War I and in World War II, along in Korea and the Vietnam War and Desert Storm. I appreciate everything that all the veterans have done for this great country. And I often tell people when I go do speeches and stuff that the African-American community is so supportive of the United States of America. You know, our family, we have a great sense of pride in the great red, white, and blue. And there's no other country that's better than us. I was honored to play on the national team in 1988, and we went to the Soviet Union and played the Soviets and beat them in Leningrad, which is now called St. Petersburg, but it was Leningrad at that time.
Yeah.
Never a great sense of pride that I've had in my life in being able to represent this awesome nation of ours. And for all you veterans out there who stood up and stood out and put your neck on the line, and the families that have lost members in the service, I can't tell you how much I appreciate every ounce of sweat and blood that was sacrificed to make it to where I can go do what I want to do every day.
Right.
So it's a great day for America.
Fantastic. I echo those sentiments as well. Of course, all the family members that have served in my family and to the family members all around the Central Valley, folks out there making the ultimate sacrifice for our nation. Well said, Coach Q. And, of course, we're afforded the opportunity because of those folks to talk about basketball and talk about this Fresno State basketball team, which, of course, is year 2 of this Vance Wahlberg tenure now. And Coach, I wanted to get you on. She said, I wanted a temperature check on where we, a week into the season. It's hard to evaluate really what this team looks like from a week standpoint in. But I know, what were your thoughts about this group coming in? You've been around this group when they were preparing for the season. And, what was standing out to you before the season from your standpoint of like, okay, we're shaping into what maybe Vance wants from this group and what it looks like?
Well, what stands out for me now in the current state of college athletics is the adjustment that coaches have to make with bringing in a whole new team.
Mm-hmm.
Every year, it is very difficult to put a team together. You could have the best talent, but if they don't have, it's not how good you are, it's how good your team is. And how can individuals merge into that team? And in today's college climate, it is very difficult to create a team culture in such a short amount of time. I think Coach Wahlberg got some of his guys in late July, early August, right before school started. So you don't have that summer, you don't take a summer trip, you don't have the time to build in that chemistry. So that was the thing that I was interested in when I've been around the team. How well would they get along? Culturally, you have people from France, you have people from Italy, one guy from Mexico. You're trying to merge into the American culture and the different within subcultures within the United States. So that part of it is what fascinates me. How well can you do that? You can tell by some of the upsets early on in the college basketball world that it is challenging. And these same teams that are losing now probably won't lose later on because, if they can get their chemistry together.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing I look at. And I think that this team has a better chemistry than they did last year.
Well, do you think, because you pointed out in terms of maybe paying attention to what's been going on, especially the Mountain West, saw a lot of eye-popping results from Boise, from, what was the other one? UNLV had an interesting loss. Of course, Fresno State, you were there. I was there for the Wednesday night game against Upstate. Wouldn't say that was the most encouraging game, but sometimes it takes a little bit for them to get the feel of it in a game, and it matters more what you do at the end. Do you get a sense of that more often than not now? You mentioned it from those games that I mentioned there?
Well, what I see now is that, Coach Wahlberg has a philosophy where he wants to play a lot of guys, and I don't know if he has that ability to do that right at this moment. Some guys are ready.
Yeah.
He plays more than most, but you got to shorten up your bench until you gain the trust and guys show you that they can handle certain things. And that was the difference between, I thought, the loss and the win last week, which was one game he played a lot of guys, and the guys didn't get, in my view, a real good rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
And that cost them when they really had USC Upstate down early in the second half, that they could have put their foot on their necks and just won that game. And he kept trying different lineups, and then it kind of cost him. Whereas you saw the difference against Long Beach, he got a lineup that worked and he stuck with it. And then he subbed when guys got tired. Mm-hmm. So I see that that's one of the things that he's had to adjust to, because you have philosophically what you want to do, but then you got to do what wins every game, because it's a pressure situation. There is no such thing. I couldn't believe last year or anybody else that says this in any sport. There's no such thing as, well, we need a year to rebuild. Oh, rebuilding is out the door. You got to win 2 games, and that's where it is. So I think, I like his adjustment.
Yeah, certainly. And you mentioned, of course, the differences between the two games. What was the obviously he readjusted the lineup, what the starting lineup looked like. It looks like Deshaun went in, taking out McCann from the starting lineup. Is it just a matter of Vance just tinkering right now at this time of season? He's finding what he can trust, like you said. And when do you think a coach can settle in and find, okay, this is my rotation, this is what I do? Is it halfway through the non-conference? Is it a little bit later when we get closer to conference?
Every team is different. Yeah. Great question. That's where it's, you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know when it's going to break. You don't know who's going to grasp what at what time. That's the unknown, and that's where, what helps him is he was an innovative coach that took chances. He's got to stay in that mindset that, nobody knows when it's going to click, but you have to be malleable enough to do what wins. And maybe you really never get comfortable throughout the year because you don't have a lot of time to put a team together. But then you get some players that can grasp it fast, and maybe you get enough of them where you get that trust. And sometimes it's, you're trying to teach guys something that they've never learned before in Europe, right? And they're trying to grasp it here under pressure. Mm-hmm. So you may have to adjust to that. There are some definite challenges in trying to put a team together, and you never know when it's going to click, especially when you don't get a summer with guys. So you're getting to know really getting to know their names and something about them, in November, where most people, they'd like to really be rolling by now.
Certainly. And, if you do what you do on Saturday, maybe you can get that rolling aspect. Of course, especially with, I had to make sure my eyes were right when I saw the non-conference with so many home games, the Fresno State's afforded so many opportunities to play at home here. Of course, they got some road down the stretch. But, Coach, what does that do for this group to have the environment of being home for a long period of time, getting to play all these games against these different teams. Does that afford more growth through this team as opposed to having to travel and deal with all that other outside stuff? Like, they get to be on their court for a long period of time here in November.
Yeah, I think what I like about that show is the agitation. So if you lose that game last week and you got to get on the plane the next morning, you got to travel, and now there may be some chemistry issues, right? Mm-hmm. Guys maybe roomed up with somebody that's just they're having an issue. But that night they go to bed, they go to their own place. The next day they can come back in and practice. Relatively simple. I think that may be something that's really helpful. You want to get road tested, and you will, and you need to be road tested, especially in this conference.
Yeah.
But early on, just to kind of hold your team together, because games like that don't seem like they can crush your season, but they can, right? Because then all of a sudden, if you come in against Long Beach State and you're not ready, and then this coming week's going to be a tough week, a tough game tomorrow. Saturday will not be a cupcake. These are programs that have had success, and so you need it. You couldn't have it go bad because you're in two dogfights for these next two games for sure. So I think that's where having the home schedule really benefits Fresno State, is that you don't lose a practice day. You don't get the other chemistry stuff that can happen on the road that's bad, especially if you lose and you lose a game you should win. Mm-hmm. It could really guys to get on each other's nerves and just tired and frustrated. So it eliminates some of that early on, which I think is a big benefit.
Now that we've seen a couple of these players in action, a lot of these players in action, like I said, I want to ask you about some specific guys in there. I think certainly Jake Heidebreder is kind of the guy that a lot of people are paying attention to, the Clemson transfer, sharpshooter, as we heard from him, or heard about him, and he had a team-leading 24 on Saturday. I think a little bit of a tougher shooting game on Wednesday, but what stands out about him as maybe this go-to guy, the sharpshooter? Obviously, I think you knew Fresno State needed somebody to be able to hit a three. Last year's team, he might be one of the many guys that can afford that aspect. But what stands about now that you've actually seen him in action? What stands out about him?
Well, we saw him early on in his career when he was at Air Force, and the Hudson defense really put a number on him. He's not your main go-to guy in terms of off the bounce and some other things, but he can hit shots for you. Now, again, that game they lost, he didn't hit the shots that he needed to hit. He knew it. And so then you look at film and see how can I help him get the shots he needs if the defense is going to play him a certain way, which is going to be new to him. Now, he's the guy, and defenses are coming in, putting their most athletic length on him to try to give him issues.
Yeah.
So they made adjustments from that when they played against Long Beach State, so it didn't happen again, because people are looking at film, and they're looking at how do we stop this player. And I think, when you get Collins getting into the paint and causing problems, it eventually opens up. It's like the jab, it's just, like body shots. You're taking body shots, all of a sudden guy put his hands down,
yeah.
Then you go for the head shot. Well, Collins is getting into that paint, sucks the defense in, and when they rotate the ball back out to Jake, I think he gets a cleaner look. Mm-hmm. And, they're going to have to find different ways to get him clean looks so he can have success.
With Zion, you mentioned, and I want to ask you about, because you made a good point on the Wednesday game, talking about the communication between teams, and maybe this was evident more in the Saturday game, but especially on defense, talking about switching, the guys just not really, on Wednesday you mentioned they weren't really like communicating as well as they could be on the defensive side in terms of that. Do you feel like that's something you saw improve from Saturday's performance, and something that the Bulldogs are continuing to work on when they know a guy's getting attacked a lot and is getting overwhelmed on defense, they can recognize that on the court in a real-time pace?
Well, oftentimes when people talk about how good your team is, it's going to come down really to team defense. Mm-hmm. And that's where the communication, all the points that you're making comes into play. There were two things. They did get better, yes. Can they stand to get a lot better? Naturally. Did Long Beach State run stuff that really helped them? Yes, they did. So sometimes you get a break from a program that runs stuff that helps you look better than you are on defense. But you build off of that in film sessions.
Yeah.
Hey, look, you guys are in the right spots. You're talking. It wasn't overly complicated. They really did well on it, and you build on that. So I thought, it was a difference because you need to have help defense if your guards are going to have problems staying in front of quick, athletic guards on the perimeter, and guys are getting into the key. I mean, that's the death knell, because once the player gets 2 feet in the paint, a real good point guard, a real good passer, there's too many options, so that means if they're in the paint, typically they're right near the basket.
Yeah.
So the defense naturally sucks in. Well, with a guy like Jake out there, for example, this is what Fresno State's trying to do. They're trying to hit that shooter. But if you can prevent them from getting in there, you can really screw teams up.
Let's go to, I want to go one more player here. DJ Stickman is a guy who stands out, right? He's a true freshman.
Oh, yeah.
Vance talked about how he just worked his way into getting out of a red shirt and forcing him to actually be a meaningful guy off the bench. He had a plus 20 and his plus minus in his last game as well. Just an impact player that's playing the most minutes off the bench right now. Like, how impressed are you from a freshman standpoint, physically, what he can do, and how his ability maybe even to rebound as well from a guard position? Like, he can be a guy who can unlock some stuff for this Bulldog team.
I agree with everything you just said, and I think what happens is and give a lot of credit to Coach Wahlberg and his staff for playing him. Because a lot of coaches can get their egos involved, like, well, no, he's a redshirt. When you go in thinking a certain team. But when you start getting into those exchanges in practice, nobody asked Stickman, have you just conceded to just want to be a redshirt this year? Well, he's coming there going, are you crazy? I'm coming in playing. I'm better than 3 or 4 of these other guys.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not a redshirt. No, you out of your mind? Right? He's not saying that to Coach Wahlberg. He's saying that to himself. Right? And so you go in there and you prove it. And he won the game, in my mind. I told Vance this. He saved you against Long Beach State, because when he came in, he changed the pace, his hustle, his defensive tips, his pushing the ball, rebound. Everything that guy did was for help you win. And how do you keep a guy off the floor? We always talk about a guy like Jake in terms of offense. What do you design for him offensively? But what do you got designed for a unique player like the stick defensively? And how do you utilize something that nobody else has? And I picked all that up just in my coaching career from Chuck Daly, the Hall of Fame coach. He had Rodman, he had Lambeer, he had Sally, Joe Dumars. He had guys who were just unique guys. How do you use them to play their strengths to help you win? And that's where I see the stick. You don't run the offense for him. But, boy, he disrupts everybody else's offense. He changes the speed of the game, right? He's electric out there. He's doing team first, team last stuff. Why would you have him sitting somewhere with a red shirt on when you need him today?
Yeah.
So that's a smart coaching move.
Absolutely. I think being a Central Valley guy like he is, Clovis West guy, a lot of fans can get behind what he can be capable of for this Bulldog squad. Coach, I wanted to ask about tomorrow's game. Could you see San Diego? This is a hot team on the radar here. A tournament team last year, a good up and coming program, or maybe they've been here for a while. I don't know if I even call it that. How big is this? Feels like the biggest test at home through this whole stretch, if you rank it all. But how big is this game tomorrow? What is the challenges you see San Diego presents?
Well, let's talk about they lost their coach to New Mexico. To take a UC to the tournament, and to get any team in the tournament in California with the splitting of the resources, right, of the amount of universities just in the public universities in the state of California.
Yeah.
Right? That's a lot of budgetary dollars going to a lot of other places. And for the UC San Diego to get there, that was a big accomplishment. They dominated the Big West. They're going to be a physical, tough team to deal with, even without their coach, because I think they still kept some of their culture. They don't lose a whole lot. There's a certain type of student athlete they have to get there. They're going to get them there. And when you have success, it's easy to keep people there. And San Diego now, I can't believe they couldn't keep an NBA team or an ABA team but now it's kind of like a basketball place because of San Diego State.
Yeah.
And you see San Diego's building in on that. So it will be probably one of the tougher games that the Dogs face. It certainly will be a test just to see how well they can handle a team that's defense is really set, because you just played Long Beach State. They had like 13 new guys. So these UC guys will typically know everything they need to know. And so this will be a test on how well Fresno State can run their offense, because this team's going to be in the right places at the right time and doing the things. So it may be a real tough physical matchup. We'll see what happens, even with them having a new coach. With their old coach, I knew what they did more, but now with this new coach, I just know that they're trying to keep that same thing.
Yeah, it'll be a fascinating game to see how it all develops, and if this team can play well against that squad, the Tritons down there. Hey, Coach, one question before I let you go: is there anything in the stat sheet you look for to tell you the story about a basketball? Is there one particular thing you always go to, particular box in the box score? You're like, okay, I know what happened here. Something you're always keying in on when you look at the box score.
Well, I don't know if you know, I had to tell Paul Leffler when we first started working together, I'm not stat crazy. I'm not going to try to overwhelm you with my knowledge of this stat and this stat.
Yeah.
The one stat I care about is final score. Do I got more than the other guy?
Yeah.
Because each game has its own personality, and I look at how well can teams adapt to the game, to win that game. And my college coach and Bobby Knight were really good friends, and some of those guys would call my coach Bob Hamilton and ask for advice on before certain games. And sometimes you have to do whatever it takes to win. Sometimes it's rebounding, but the stats can be deceiving. But that final score cannot. And that's what I look at. To be quite blunt.
Hey, it's what matters. It's what matters the most in the game of basketball and every sport, necessarily. Basically that.
Yeah.
Coach, I appreciate it as always. Of course, you can catch him on the Fresno State broadcast on basketball with Paul Leffler all season long. Coach, we'll be talking soon throughout the season. We'll be hitting you up as we progress. But I appreciate you giving the folks some insight on the basketball team so far.
Anytime for ESPN. Big Q, you're dynamite and you're out of sight. I appreciate your program, and thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Coach Q from the Fresno State broadcast here on 1430. Let's take a break. We'll come back with more show right after this on 1430 ESPN.
From the roar of Valley Children's Stadium to the heart of the Red Wave, Fresno State football ignites the Valley, and Precision Civil Engineering is proud to help power that momentum. Named 2024's best engineering firm by the Business Journal, Precision Civil Engineering delivers top-tier planning, surveying, and design building, the backbone of the Central Valley. Proud partners of Fresno State Athletics, because when the Dogs rise, the Valley rises. Go Dogs! Visit precisioneng.net today.
At Citizens Business Bank, we've been taking a personal approach to banking for over 40 years and are consistently recognized as one of the top performing banks in the nation. Hi, I'm Susan Woosner, Senior Vice President and Manager of Citizens Business Bank in Fresno. We believe in the importance of building long-lasting and genuine relationships with our customers. We want to provide you with the solutions you need to grow your business, because your success is our success. Citizens Business Bank, member FDIC.
For 80 years, Fresno Pacific University has been shaping the heart and soul of California as the Central Valley's only accredited Christian university. Today, our deep faith roots and pride in our community drive us to provide affordable, career-relevant education that transforms the lives of our students and the communities they serve. Discover your calling through over 100 undergraduate and graduate programs offered on campus or fully online. Fresno Pacific University. Learn more at fpu.edu.
Hey, it's Phil Benotti from Behind the Bench for my friends at Valley Athletics, the new go-to sports facility in the Central Valley. Founded by Valley legend Vance Wahlberg and former Bulldog volleyball coach Jonathan Winder. Valley Athletics allows athletes to really shine at volleyball, basketball, and pickleball. Visit valleyathletics.co right now to learn more about enrolling in our current volleyball and basketball offerings that include league play. That's valleyathletics.co. Proud sponsors of high school athletics.
Football season's here, and it's time to upgrade your home team's game plan with Robinson's Interiors. Whether you're hosting the big game or relaxing after a win, the right flooring can make all the difference. From durable hardwood to cozy carpet, Robinson's Interiors has the best selection and unbeatable prices, all backed by professional installation the Valley has trusted for over 40 years. So give yourself home field advantage. Don't wait for the touchdown. Visit Robinson's Interiors in Fresno and Hanford today. Robinson's Interiors, the Valley's flooring MVP.
The long goodbye begins. A very special evening with Journey. Final Frontier Tour. Friday, April 24th. Save Mart Center. Journey. Tickets on sale Friday, November 14th at 10 a.m. at journeymusic.com. Your chance to say goodbye to the songs that changed our lives. Journey. Final Frontier Tour.
Here's a tip from All American Glass, Fresno's go-to since 1990.
Hey, it's Isaac with All American Glass. When it's time to replace your windshield, here are 3 things to keep in mind. First, try to choose a shop that's a registered member of the Auto Glass Safety Council. Second, make sure the technicians working on your vehicle are knowledgeable and certified. And third, if your vehicle is equipped with advanced driving assistance systems, make sure a successful recalibration of the forward-facing camera is performed after the installation. These are some of the reasons you can count on All American Glass. And remember, we treat your car like family.
Get a free quote today at aagfresno.com.
Summer's winding down, and fall is the perfect time to get your home ready for the cooler nights ahead. At Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, we've been keeping Fresno families comfortable since 1981. A seasonal service now means peace of mind all winter long, knowing your system is ready when you need it most. When the holidays come, your home will be cozy and welcoming for everyone who walks through the door. Don't miss out on the comfort you deserve. Call Lee's Air today and step into the season with confidence.
Thank you to Coach Q, Mark Jones, joining us the last segment. Guys, pretty sound advice from him. His favorite stat line is the final score. It's pretty apt, to say the least, in terms of that. No, Coach is great. Coach is great with the insight. He talked a lot about good stuff there with the basketball team. It's a work in progress, but he said, you can't call it rebuilding anymore in this landscape of college basketball. It's win now because of all of the moving pieces, the transfer portal. It's what you do to convince players to come play for your program, come play for your system, and how you can determine their future moving into where they want to progress as a basketball player down the road. And it's a race to see who can use the resources they have to the best of their ability. That's how college basketball works, even more than college football. I think college football is a little more of a program developmental, system, but the ecosystem of college basketball is, let me show you what I can do, and maybe you can showcase yourself and see where you go from here, right? Like I don't necessarily think program building I think it's almost dead in college basketball per se. It's just basically who can accumulate the best team.
Yeah, I mean, ever since NIL has been enacted, that, I think across all sports it's been like that. But as you said, especially basketball, when you have only a very small roster compared to football, you want to get the best people. And I'm saying, and programs want to get the best people that they can, regardless of what they want. And also, I think the one and out, just 1 year in college and out thing is also effective of that. So I do echo the sentiments in what he was saying. Yeah.
Fresno State, it's in a dicey position, of course, we know, with the basketball program and where it is, because frankly, I was there on Wednesday. It was rough to see 2,200 people in that arena. How many people can house in the arena in St. Martin Center? Anyone got the capacity off the top of their head? What is it, like 20? I think it might be. Something like that. 18,000 people at St. Martin Center. And that was almost 2%? Or no, I'm not. My math's that 10%?
Math's not math.
Is that 10%? Almost 10. Oh, a little over 10%. Let's 12%. There you go. Anyways, we'll see what this group does. It was nice to bounce back and get a victory after what was a very difficult loss to stomach to USC Upstate, and it's going to be interesting what UC San Diego presents. Who knows? Do we know if they? I don't know if they retain anybody from that the tournament side where their coach went for New Mexico. Like we said, it's year-by-year basis to see who's sticking around to each program.
Rollovers are crazy.
So who knows what UC San Diego looks like going into this game? Where are we at with UC San Diego? Actually, I want to look them up. Where are we at? I just Googled UC San Diego, but did not put the basketball qualifier on Google machine here.
They're 2-0.
2-0.
Yep.
Who have they play? The Houston Christian and Laverne.
Yep.
All right, we know nothing. We know nothing about them. 18-point win over Houston Christian. I've never heard of Houston Christian until just literally right now. So, I don't know. They are a D1 school, it looks like. So, anyways, fascinating week for the Bulldogs with those two teams, them and Utah Valley coming in. By the way, people are making a stink on the internet about Utah Valley game being a 7 p.m. game while Fresno State football plays at 7:30 across the other side of campus. Unfortunately, I think maybe television and dollars and all that stuff, it is interesting that the university gets the flack for it, even though I don't think it's necessarily the university's decision to necessarily decide when those games are. They try to negotiate, I guess, best as possibly that they can to get the game exposure. Would have been a perfect world to have 1 p.m., but I guess I heard from Tony's show that it's volleyball is conflicting in that situation as well. So go figure. I worry about what crowd size is going to be on Saturday. You don't got tickets to the football, maybe go to the basketball game. Hey, at least maybe you won't be cold and shivering in the stands on Saturday if you go to the basketball game. Be better there. But regardless, it's going to be fascinating. Let's do a little daily spread brought to you by Chancey Gold Resort and Casino right before we sign off for this hour. We got 2 more hours still coming here with you. Fresno State, by the way, you want to guess the line tomorrow for basketball real quick? Do you have it? I don't want you looking up. No cheating. What do you have a guess on what UC San Diego Fresno State line is tomorrow? Any remote guess on what it is?
Jeez. I'm going to guess 6.5.
6.5 who?
Towards UCSD.
Okay. Daniel, you got a guess?
Give me 11.
Does UCSD?
Yeah.
Fresno State, 1.5 favorite at home.
Let's go.
1.5 favorite at home.
Maybe we should have more faith in our Bulldogs.
Maybe. Hey, I feel great if we beat them.
Agreed.
We beat a tournament team from a year ago.
Agreed.
Put it on the resume. At least we're not losing to Hawaii Pacific. Even though they won't sit on the resume when Boise tries to clamor for a spot in the NCAA tournament.
That shopping mall of a college.
The extra mile arena, they named it after a gas station. Crazy stuff. All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, we got a busy hour coming up next, talking some football. We're going to dive into Fresno State football here next, taking a look at the Saturday game. Big game against Wyoming. Should be a fantastic one to break down. Talk about the Benotti Blitz as well, which we're going to be ranking the games of the NFL slate next week as well. And we'll just let it roll for the next hour here. So stay with us. 2 more hours of Behind the Bench right after this on 1430 ESPN.
There's no such thing as an off-season. When the days get shorter and the fields aren't up to par, it's time to train smarter at Elite Performance Center in Clovis. This full-service indoor facility has batting cages, drills, clinics, and one-on-one lessons with elite coaches, former D1 athletes, MLB vets, and even Fresno State softball players. Whether it's a single lane, a private lesson, or the whole 6-cage facility, Elite Performance Center is here for individuals, groups, and teams. Find Elite on Barstow, just east of Clovis Avenue, or online at ElitePerformanceCenterCA.com. Elite Performance Center. Train like the elite.
Citrus season is here, and once again, growers are choosing orange over blue because Kubota means less downtime, easier controls, and better value through the long harvest stretch. When you're racing weather, labor, and time, uptime matters, and Kubota delivers. So, turn to Pioneer Equipment, your authorized Kubota dealer, for the tractors and service they depend on. With Fresno and Reedley locations, Pioneer Equipment, your authorized Kubota dealer, is ready for you this season. Visit Pioneer Equipment, your authorized Kubota dealer, today. Online at PioneerEquipmentCA.com.
Strong company culture doesn't happen by accident. It starts with well-trained managers who know how to lead with purpose. The Sandler Management Accelerated Program is a 10-week course that gives your leaders a clear roadmap to management success. They'll learn how to manage, develop, and retain your most valuable resource, your people. The next cohort starts Thursday, November 20th. Learn more at Sandler.com. That's Sandler.com.
The sound of bees means lots of blooms, and lots of blooms means a profitable crop year. But those delicate blooms can easily be destroyed by adverse weather conditions, which in turn can be devastating to your crop investment. Now is the time to secure multi-peril crop insurance, which covers your almond crop during bloom. Bowman & Associates, your local crop insurance specialist, has been writing crop insurance for almost 40 years. Bowman & Associates is one of the largest crop insurance agencies in the state and nation. Call Roger Kent or Quinn Bowman today and ask about their multi-peril crop insurance for almonds. Bowman & Associates can design a policy with protection based on your own production experience. Ask about the new Price Option Plus, which increases the insurance price per pound to make it closer to the market price of almonds. Deadline for multi-peril coverage is December 31st. Call Bowman & Associates at 499-2020. That's 499-2020. California Department of Insurance license number 0F64178.
Bowman & Associates, your crop insurance specialists.
Are you a business owner struggling to understand how cloud technology can help your business? Are you in need of computer and technology support for your employees? M-Cubed Technologies is your solution for fully managed IT services. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. M-Cubed will be your partner in the digital world, allowing your business to carry on worry-free. We specialize in cloud hosting, Microsoft 365 management, general IT support, and VoIP phone services. Call M-Cubed Technologies today to discuss our partnerships.
Introducing The Sidebar, a brand new open-air beer garden at Me and Ed's Coney Island Grill in River Park. Experience a new way to catch a game, hang with friends, and enjoy new appetizers, char-grilled burgers, salads, wings with over 10 house-made sauces, and of course, world-famous Me and Ed's pizza. Thirsty? Try our self-poured taps with over a dozen craft beers, wines, ciders, and craft seltzers. Plus a full bar with an impressive selection of tequilas, whiskeys, and craft cocktails. The Sidebar at Me and Ed's Coney Island Grill, now open in River Park.
Get your business noticed and stand out from the crowd by visiting Megaprints. Working with the Valley's most prestigious and high-profile businesses since 1998, we print and install custom-designed signs for businesses of all types and sizes. From yard signs to banners to wallpaper and fleet graphics, Megaprints has the state-of-the-art capability to turn the signage you've dreamed of into a reality. Visit megaprints.com today to see our work and what we can do for your business.
You're listening to the home of the San Francisco Giants, KFIG Fresno, 1430 ESPN.
I'm Christine Lisi. Mavericks fans who have been chanting "Fire Nico" finally got their wish. Dallas Fire General Manager Nico Harrison today. He'd had a tumultuous last 9 months after his shocking trade of Luka Doncic to the Lakers for the oft-injured Anthony Davis and a 3-8 start to this NBA season. Assistant GMs Michael Finley, Matt Riccardi will lead Dallas's basketball operations department on an interim basis. ESPN NBA insider Shams Charania.
One other issue that had come up in the last several weeks is Patrick Dumont believing that Nico Harrison did not do a good enough job of educating him as owner-GM relationship, and believing that Nico Harrison was simply just using his power. So the process starts now to take ownership of accountability for the Mavericks after that trade 9 months ago, and given the start, they felt they had to make this step.
76ers center Joel Embiid with right knee soreness is out tonight against the Celtics. Coach Nick Nurse told reporters that there are no expectations about a timeline for Embiid's return. Warriors set to welcome back guard Steph Curry versus Oklahoma City tonight. He's missed the last 3 games because of illness. Suns guard Jalen Green out at least 4 to 6 weeks with a right hamstring strain. He first sustained a right hamstring injury during training camp and then aggravated it during the preseason. NFL Jaguars wide receiver cornerback Travis Hunter underwent surgery to repair the LCL in his right knee. He'll miss the rest of the season. There was no additional damage to the knee, and Hunter is expected to return to full football activities within 6 months.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Wednesday, I'll tell you why Kevin Stefanski, still rolling with Dylan Gabriel, isn't the right move for the Browns' future. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
He's got the knowledge.
Because once again, I have to come on there and talk about how right I am once again in anything that it comes to sports.
He's got the questions.
I'm going to lose it. Are you kidding me? What are we doing here?
He's got the guests.
20th head coach in Fresno State history here, Matt. Is it hard to believe sometimes still, the 20th head coach here in program history?
It's all moved really quickly here over the course of the last 5-6 weeks, but super excited to be here.
Phil Benotti is the voice for the Central Valley sports leader. Behind the Bench starts now. Brought to you by Helena Agri.
That's right. Hour number 2 here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader here on this Tuesday, November 11th. Happy Veterans Day to all of the veterans out there listening and wherever you are here in the Central Valley and beyond. Thank you for your service. All right. We are here providing you the opportunity to listen to some sports talk here for the next couple more hours here. We're going till 6 o'clock tonight to ESPN programming. Of course, over on 790, in about 30 minutes, the Sharks and the Wild pregame will begin. Sharks and Wild puck drop at 5 p.m. Of course, a little reminder of the schedule upcoming. We have some basketball tomorrow. The Lakers and the Thunder do battle at 6:15 pregame with a 6:30 tip-off there on Wednesday. Of course, over on 790, we'll have Sunbird Sports Show at 6 p.m. as well. And plenty of other. We have a playoff game on Friday, by the way. We will be at Clovis and Clovis West, 6:30 pre, with a 7 p.m. kickoff live at LaMonica Stadium. Myself, Paul Metters, and Pat Hill will be on the call for that one. Should be a fun one in the Central Section 1AA playoff semifinal. Winner will go to the championship game to either play Central East or Buchanan. All right, let's get into some other conversation. I promised a lot of people would talk about some Fresno State football here in this show, and we're going to dive into it maybe here to the tail end of the show. Right now, we're going to start it here and then dive into it more when Asa comes in as well. But let's talk about, obviously, coming off of the bye week, coming off of everything with the Bulldogs, who are now 6-3 after the epic win over Boise. I think a lot of people, of course, we're still figuring out whether we are reacting to that in a way where we're sure that happened. We are sure that happened. That definitely did happen at Boise State. But the Bulldogs get a win there. And now watched a lot of action over the weekend play out in the Mountain West. And we're in that scoreboard watching territory of the season now where we're deciphering what the path is and where the permutations are. And I don't certainly think it's too early for that. Jorge and I did the exercise last week, and I don't know if you know, Tanvir and Daniel, we ended up with a 5-way tie for first in the Mountain West in our chaotic situation. And then Jose Gonzalez, I told him that, who came on last week, and he claimed that we are going to see the Mountain West completely rigged to the non-Pac-12 teams. Going to a Mountain West championship. So book New Mexico and UNLV into the Mountain West championship. That's basically what we're saying, right? Anyways, regardless. Some results last week, none bigger than Hawaii San Diego State in the grand scheme of things. Of course, that gives San Diego State its first loss in the Mountain West ahead of this game against Boise. Of course, we're looking at the path in terms of it. There's a lot of big games left on the path here for all of these teams. Boise, San Diego State this week is the big one. Utah State, UNLV is a big one this week as well. You want to count, of course, our game matters. If you want Fresno State to advance, they need to win all of them. I look at the following week with Hawaii and UNLV. In UNLV, of course, our state game against Utah State is massive as well. There's a lot of games left on the schedule. San Diego State's at New Mexico to the tail end of the year. Boise State's at Utah State to the tail end of the year as well. What are you shaping up this conference race to a Mountain West championship and to a berth to potentially the Gronk LA Bowl, which I guess is the big prize at the end of this thing? No, I don't think anybody's making a group of 5 spot into an at-large college football playoff situation here. I think we're totally out of that conversation. But what do you make of this Mountain West race? Because I think this could be the craziest finish we have seen in this conference history.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're sitting at 7 teams right now who are 3-2 or better in conference, and all of these teams are, they have their chance to make the Mountain West Championship. I certainly believe that we're going to see some chaos. That San Diego State loss to Hawaii, as you said, massive for the rest of the group, because that gives them the first loss, and now you have the top 2 teams in the conference right now who are facing each other soon, and one of them is going to drop to a second loss. So you're going to have to, everybody's going to have to pay attention to that game to see which way it's going to go. Is it going to go to Boise State? Is it going to San Diego State? Because I think rest of the season, both of those teams, I think one of those teams will be in the Mountain West Championship by season's end.
I have no confidence and belief that Boise can play better football than
for sure.
I don't know if I see Boise winning another game with the way they played against Fresno State, but I do want to say I don't think Boise played badly because it's Boise. I think they played badly because it was Fresno State's defense was that elite on Saturday in terms of where they afforded the starting field position for Fresno State's offense and where we were able to score from basically into Boise territory. Every single time on a scoring drive, Fresno State was basically in Boise territory outside of one drive. I wonder, do you feel like the performance was Boise wasn't ready and was playing horribly, or do you think it was Fresno State just made it look like that, and is Boise capable of winning more Mountain West games? I wonder if that is going to permeate through the rest of the Boise State season, which has big San Diego State game this week in terms of it. I don't know if they have any chance of doing that, but what do you make of what we saw there?
No, I think it was a mix of both, but I think that Fresno State defense really came out to play. And it's not going to get easier for the Broncos because they're playing San Diego State, who has a really good defense in their own right. So I think personally, I think it was the Fresno State defense, but that doesn't necessarily lend itself to Boise State winning this game in this upcoming matchup against the Aztecs.
Yeah. Boise has – we'll do the breakdown again real quick. Here's what I think the key is for the path. Right, the path is Hawaii and Boise need to be married at the hip to Fresno State. I think that gives a lot of, I don't know, what do you call it, computer rankings, all the tiebreak stuff. You have 2 teams that are married to the hip to you that you've beaten already. It kind of, I think in the tiebreak scenario, if I do recall right, it is who eliminates who else in the whole thing. And if you have a New Mexico team you've never played, and you have Hawaii who you played, and you have Boise who you've played and beaten in those scenarios, I would assume Fresno State, out of all that process of elimination, would be the team above everybody because that's just the head-to-head situation there. That's why Hawaii versus UNLV, I think, is the most important game left for Fresno State to be paying attention to, which is in 2 weeks. It's on a Friday. It's in Vegas. And if Hawaii can pull off that win on the road, which – Hawaii has won on the road this season. I wouldn't say it's necessarily been a full vote of confidence. Here are your road conference games they've been able to win on. 44-35 over Air Force on the road. They beat Colorado State at Colorado State, something Fresno State can't say they did. A shocking, I would say, I don't know if I say shocking, but I would say a very frustrating loss at San Jose for this Hawaii team, what they did overall in this conference season. But honestly, I feel like the San Jose State beating them helps us because now they're at the 2-loss situation. But Hawaii's all got the UNLV and Wyoming. And I think the key to everything for Fresno State is seeing Hawaii stay as a 2-loss team in this conference and staying married to the side of it. We're looking at the schedules. I think the UNLV-Hawaii game is the most important. There's some other games out there from what you guys have been looking over the next 3 weeks in terms of it. Is there one that you're looking at like that is going to be the fulcrum game for Fresno State in terms of where this projects in terms of the conference race?
Well, for Fresno State, I think it's certainly that Utah State game. You have Utah State. They're at the same record at 3-2. If you can get another head-to-head win against a team in that group, that's certainly gonna work out for you. Yeah. As I said, I think the Boise State San Diego State game to kind of see where that is gonna go is gonna be interesting. Another one that I was looking at was certainly the San Diego State versus New Mexico game. I think that can also be a big one because both of those teams, I think if New Mexico State loses, you could see Fresno State jump them in that aspect.
I'm reevaluating my perception of Utah State because of their games they've had. Look at the way they played on the road, which they're 0-4 on the road, but they're 0-4 in like the most difficult road. Like look at what they've had results wise. A 22-point loss to A&M, who what's the perception of A&M right now, right?
Top 3 team.
Top 3 team. 22-point loss at A&M is kind of insane. Like I don't think some of the power teams can say they did that at A&M. 20-point loss at Vandy. Vandy's respected.
Another team that's fighting for a CFP spot.
Exactly. You lose by 18 to Hawaii, and Hawaii can be a house of horrors, as we just saw with San Diego this past weekend. You lose by 19 to New Mexico, but now we kind of feel like New Mexico's a flipped perceived team because we thought New Mexico wasn't really quite the highest caliber of team, but now they are, in my perspective. And Utah State can seriously be a sneaky team in a couple weeks for Fresno State. Like you said, I'm changing my perception of what they are and how they can be a football team that can cause a lot of issues for Fresno State in this run. It's not necessarily the easiest. It's not a cakewalk 3-game run for the Fresno State Bulldogs like I may have thought going into it. But I'm fascinated by all that. Oh, my gosh. I'm looking at it again. 7 teams within a game of each other is insane. I think only the MAC can say the same thing. I think I'm looking at conference schedule. The MAC has 7 teams within a game of each other as well. But, it's not the MACtion, it's the MWACtion. that is piquing the interest. Let's dive into specifically this game on Saturday, though, between Fresno State and Wyoming, and what Wyoming is good at. What Wyoming is good at is preventing teams from scoring the football. Wyoming is one of the top teams in terms of that. This season, they have played, I would say, an admirable season, all things considered, with where their offense may have been. But they really are physical. Coach Entz was the first word he said in terms of what he thought about with this Wyoming squad, especially in the front side of it, especially with how physical you could be in the line and where they can frustrate our Fresno State side, especially our offensive line, and where sustained drives are and where we can go. Because let's be frank about this offense, what it needs to show on Saturday is it can sustain drives. You need to sustain drives. You need that 80-yard 12-play drive somewhere in your back pocket if you're going to want to win a conference championship as a team and want to win at least maybe 9 games, 10 games this season as a squad. Bulldogs, even despite their win over Boise, did not show that in that game last week. So what is going to be interesting is how this team accepts the challenge of physicality and its readiness to handle that. Handle when they're going to be going up against a real physical line in that sense. What do I don't know if you can teach anything in the week when it comes to matching that mentality other than telling the guys what they need to do in terms of that. Maybe it's just be more sound in where you attack as a line on the offensive side, which we've challenged this offensive line from week to week. It hasn't necessarily reaped the rewards this season in terms of how good they are, but they have an acceptable challenge here now to change the perception of what they look like over the next 3 weeks, and it starts with this game. I look for that first in this game against Wyoming. I wonder if you guys are sharing the same sentiment there.
Yeah, for sure. I honestly think that it's got to be within the locker room. Leaders have to come out and make it a statement that they need to be more physical than Wyoming coming into this game. When I look at this matchup, Wyoming's defensive identity, I think, travels really well. The Cowboys have seen 7 of their 9 games go under in terms of the total this season, and I think that this is another game where you're going to see both defenses have the advantage over the offenses. It's going to be which team can really break out and make that big play. And I honestly think that the Fresno State Bulldogs have the better big play creators, but we'll see how that works out, because it's not going to matter if you can't really out-physical them in terms of this game.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dana.
I think this game's going to be won in the trenches, if I'm being honest. I just think with the way they're both matching up, they both have really good defenses. Wyoming's really good at stopping the points, and as we've seen with the Fresno State defense, that big win over Boise was because of the defense.
Yeah.
So I feel like this game will be won in the trenches, and like Tanvir said, whoever gets that big play or big plays will change the matter of this game.
ESPN has a metric out about all the teams, and this is a stat that was put out today. Stop rate. I don't know if you saw this. The stop rate, basically, they talked about the percentage of defensive drives that end in punt, turnovers, or a turnover on downs for the defensive side. Wyoming's a top 14 team in stop rate. They have stopped teams' drives from scoring 71.7% of the time this year. Average points per drive given up on defense, 1.73 through 8 games. We're talking in the territory of top defensive units in the nation, like Michigan, like Miami, like Oklahoma. Texas is a top stop rate team. Ohio State, Texas Tech, all of the top tier. San Diego State, we know, is a good defense. All of the metrics tell you Wyoming is up there in terms of that caliber. Fresno State's 29, just to give Ram a reference, 29 ranked in the nation at 68.1% defensive stop rate. I don't know that necessarily it's not going to tell you the whole story of what this game will look like, but you could see this going field position, punt battle, who makes the mistake first. Fresno State didn't make the mistake 2 weeks ago of turning the ball over. Boise did. And Fresno State needs to continue to be that team that doesn't blink first like it did against San Diego State 3 weeks ago. It is all about that. It is all about taking care of the football. It is all about when that first game-changing play will happen between these two teams, because once that field flips and teams are ready to score, once you take over that ball, then everything goes from there. I could see it being a very cagey game for the first 2 quarters of this football game until someone makes a disastrous mistake of throwing a pick or a kick blocked per se can change the game. I thought the Boise State blocked field goal, I thought that was the momentum changing game in that game last 2 weeks ago as well. Almost acts like a turnover, and to me, that's going to matter in this game on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, as vaunted as we're talking about this Wyoming defense, Fresno State's defense is right there on par. They've allowed less yards than Wyoming. They have more interceptions. They have a better defensive rating. So, again, it's going to be based off of who can make the big plays. And when you have a guy like Josiah Freeman, you got a guy like Rayshon Luke back there, you got and Donaldson, anybody in that receiver and weapons room, you're going to have to count on them to make the big play. And, that's going to be the difference in this game.
Yeah. Field position, flipping the battle, penalties. Also, remember how horrible Boise was with the penalties 2 weeks ago. I don't know if you can count on that affecting the field position battle as well, because remember, Boise was really shooting themselves in the foot. You can't count on that with teams like this, especially with Wyoming. But if it happens, you take advantage of those opportunities as well, quite simply. All right, let's take a break. We'll continue this conversation in the next hour, but we got to get to our Benotti Blitz, so we're going to take a break. When we come next, we will be ranking the games of Week 11 in terms of our entertainment. Stay with us. Behind the Bench rolls on 1430 ESPN.
There's only one. West Coast? West Coast Exhaust and Off-Road. Hey folks, Steve Johnson here from West Coast Exhaust and Off-Road. For over 20 years, my crew and I have been keeping rides running rides. From cars and trucks to side-by-sides, ready to roll into the season. Whether you need a tune-up, oil change, or full custom build, bring it to the crew that loves what we do. Get your rig ready for fall and winter adventures with a $100 suspension inspection. Only at West Coast Exhaust and Off-Road. Check out our 5-star Google reviews and swing by in Fresno, just west of Shaw and Brawley, or online at westcoastexhaustandoffroad.com.
Hey, it's Phil Benotti from Behind the Bench. In sports, when you take a hard hit, you count on your team. In life, after an accident, your team is Davis and Van Wagenen, attorneys at law. Right here in Fresno, they've helped Valley families win the compensation they deserve, and you don't pay unless they win. Visit DavisVanWagenenLaw.com. That's DavisVanWagenenLaw.com. Davis and Van Wagenen, your hometown injury attorneys.
Life gets messy, but your space doesn't have to. We are Rise and Shine Janitorial and Commercial Cleaning Services, where we clean because your time is important. From offices to schools to medical facilities, Rise and Shine handles it all with our trained staff and high-performance standards. Big jobs or small, Rise and Shine will never lock you into a contract. So let us take the stress off your plate. Contact Rise and Shine Janitorial and Commercial Cleaning Services. Call 559-649-5391 or visit riseshine559.com.
Ed Dina's the dealer in Dinuba that does. Yes, he does.
Hey, it's Ashley Dina from Ed Dina's Auto Center. And if you've been thinking about upgrading your ride, this is the month to make it happen. We're rolling out Black Friday savings all November long. You'll get year-end clearance pricing on every vehicle on the lot, plus top trade-in values and fast, hassle-free financing from a family-owned dealership that truly knows how to take care of people. We're proud to serve our communities, so don't wait. Check out the inventory now on eddinasautocenter.com.
Quick, where can you find a great selection of Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Serta, and Mattress First bedding? Easy. The same place you'll find adjustable beds, sheets, pillows, mattress protectors, and more. Sleep Retreat, inside fashion furniture. It's worth the time to walk through and imagine what your home could look like with beautiful new furniture. Or how comfortable you'll be on your new mattress. Fashion Furniture on El Paso, across from River Park. There's nothing like it in all of California.
Basketball is here at Fresno City College. Come cheer on the Rams, both men's and women's teams, two of the top programs in the state, where every game is fast, fierce, and full of heart. Don't miss your chance to see championship-level basketball live at FCC. Want to know where the Rams play next? Or check schedules for other sports? Visit FCCRams.com for full fall and winter athletic schedules. Be part of the tradition. Be part of pride. Fresno City College Athletics, where champions compete and fans bring the energy.
At FFB, we know behind every business is a person. That's why we're more than a bank. We're a partner, a farming-focused bank for hard workers, a future-forward bank for big dreamers, and a family-friendly bank for the next generation of owners. From first ideas to major milestones, we're here to help you chase your goals and score big. So what can FFB mean for your business? Find out at ffb.bank. That's ffb.bank. FFB Bank. Let's win together.
For 80 years, Fresno Pacific University has been shaping the heart and soul of California as the Central Valley's only accredited Christian university. Today, our deep faith roots and pride in our community drive us to provide affordable, career-relevant education that transforms the lives of our students and the communities they serve. Discover your calling through over 100 undergraduate and graduate programs offered on campus or fully online. Fresno Pacific University. Learn more at fpu.edu.
Our second hour of our show here in the middle of it. I know I just made a few people mad watching the show or listening to the show. By the way, you can watch the show on YouTube, ESPN Fresno, YouTube, and also Facebook and Twitch if you want to watch the show. We post those after the fact as well if you want to go back and watch the archival versions of them. All right, it's time for the Benotti Blitz. Benotti Blitz brought to you by Grocery Outlet. Of course, we got the Tailgate Ready contest. Just one more or a couple more games left to enter. You're running out of time to win the Tailgate Ready contest. 2 tickets to Fresno State game upcoming, plus $100 towards your tailgate. And be sure to sign up at your local grocery outlets in Northwest Fresno, Downtown Fresno, Southeast Fresno, and Sanger and Kerman grocery outlet locations. All right, we ready, boys, for the Benotti Blitz? Here we go. Ah, yes. Week 11. Just 2 teams on bye. The Colts and the Saints. We'll miss one of them.
Yeah, I'll miss the Saints.
And we start in Spain. The Madrid game between the Dolphins and the Commanders. What have we ever done to Spain for them to deserve a game like this? But here we go. Marcus Mariota versus Tua Tagovailoa. I don't have many expectations for a game like this, but I think it's going to be one that is going to, for a team that feels like they can run the ball forever in terms of what Devan Achane is, and who's been sneakily, I think, really fun this year out of the Dolphins. That's my only bright spot of this game entirely. The Commanders' run game has been absolutely horrible this year as well. I have no interest in waking up for this game, and I'm putting it here in the bottom, the Madrid game. Go figure.
I cannot believe you left out Jalen Waddle. He's been amazing this year, honestly, if I'm being for real. But this was my second to last game. I think there's one that's actually worse than this one, but the Commanders just not being the same Commanders that they were last year just takes out any momentum. I'm interested to see how they do next year because they're a very old team in my opinion, so we'll see.
I have this game just like two spots up, but that's because of my Marcus Mariota tax. I'm always going to be a defender of his, but yeah, I don't think this game's going to be that
What time is this game in Hawaii? Is this like 3:30 Hawaiian time for all those folks out there?
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, anyways. Next up, the Falcons and the Panthers here. The Falcons are a frustrating team with the way they go, and honestly, I don't know what to make of them as a 3-6 team. They feel like their record should be a lot better, and yet they continue to find ways to lose. The Panthers continue to find ways to lose games they should win and win games that they should lose, and it'll continue that theme of what was a blowout earlier this year. I never feel like it's a good news for the Panthers in Atlanta. We'll see what it is, but let's be honest, NFC South makes me glaze over. It's melatonin for my eyes.
Yeah, this is going to have to be a revenge game for the Falcons if they want any chance to, have some playoff contention. I honestly think I have this a little higher because it is, again, division matchup. I love myself a division matchup, and we'll see how Drake London and Bijan Robinson respond after that game in Berlin against the Colts.
I had this at 12, but just the same thing. I feel like it's more of an important game it's important in general because Panthers do want to stay in contention, but I just feel like if the Falcons want any sort of chance at still staying alive, they got to win this game. But I had no interest on my part.
Next up, Titans and Texans in Tennessee. Good defense is fine for the Texans, but Davis Mills, hey, that was kind of a fun show at the tail end of that game against Jacksonville, all things considered. Thankfully, our friend is not here yet to hear me say that. The Titans are just absolutely impossible to watch as a football team and the way they play. Somehow they have one win, and I don't see this going any better for their offense against this Texans defense. I don't see this being close, and I don't see this being any sort of interesting on Sunday.
You have the worst offense in the NFL versus the best defense. This is about to be an absolute bloodbath, and I think the Titans bye week has kind of given you a little bit of stars in your eyes in terms of this team. This team is absolutely terrible, and this is my worst game of the week. So, yeah, give me this at 15.
This was also my worst game of the week. I have no interest in this game at all because I feel like the Texans are just going to steamroll them.
I just got a text from Asa. I cannot read it on air. Next up, Raiders and Cowboys on Monday Night Football. Hey, nothing against the Cowboys here. I think despite what they did 2 weeks ago on Monday night, of how horribly they played, I do find this game, not being dragged down by the Cowboys. It is the Raiders who drag this game down for me, and the way they play, especially in prime time. We saw what they did on Thursday night, and they're about to do it again to us on Monday Night Football. Outside of maybe watching the fan bases fight each other in Vegas, this has nothing of appeal for me on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, these are two of the worst pass defenses in the NFL, and I think that is going to convert into some good offense for both these teams. I have this at number 7 simply for that fact. I think this is going to be a sneaky, decent game. I don't see how either of these defenses can shut down the other offense, even though Geno Smith is playing pretty terrible right now, and that Cowboys offense can't stop us, or defense can't stop a sneeze. So I think this will be a sneaky good game. I had this at number 7.
I had this at 8, but that's mainly just because I feel like Geno Smith is seeing ghosts out there, but I don't think he'll see that this week just because of how terrible both pass defenses are. So I feel like it'll be a decent game. Not going to watch it, though. I'll be at work, but...
There you go. Next up, Giants and Packers here come in. The Giants aren't fun anymore. They fired their coach. There's no good vibes. We might get Russell Wilson again, and we have no more fun players to root for the Giants on that side of things. And outside of the Packers just being anemic on offense, they are no longer fun to watch in terms of this game. This game has dropped just considerably from the fun meter in terms of it, and I put it here in the bottom 5 for me on the Week 11 slate.
Yeah, just one spot lower for me on this list. I echo those sentiments. I mean, the Packers have just been playing pretty terrible offense over the last couple of weeks. The Giants, I don't understand why they don't put Jameis Winston out there. I personally think that Jameis can operate that offense better than Russell Wilson, which was shocking to me why Russ was put back into the game against Chicago. So, we'll see if Jackson Dart is going to play, because I think Jackson Dart is pretty good, and he was my rookie of the year so far. So, I think this game depends on if Jackson Dart starts or not.
I think I'm just going to say this for every Giants game for the rest of the season, but I miss Cam Scatterby. I don't watch anymore.
We all do.
Oh, man. Jameis Winston, not a moment. We haven't had a great Jameis Winston moment since that snow game against Pittsburgh. Was that last year?
Every start is a good Jameis Winston
was that
moment,
last year?
Opinion.
When you thank the God for the snow?
Yes.
Thank God for snow. All right. Anyways, next up. Speaking of those Browns, I got them here next against the Baltimore Ravens. Was not a close game, particularly the last time. Baltimore, they're finding ways to get back to 500 from where their deep hole was, and we could be tied for first by the end of this week, all things considered, where this division matchup is. I don't find Dylan Gabriel interesting to watch, and I don't continue to do so. Browns-Ravens sits here right now.
Yeah, I think this Browns defense is going to give Lamar Jackson and company a little bit of trouble. That Vikings game, it took the Ravens a long time for them to kind of break the game open. And I think that could be what we see for a couple of quarters in this game. But again, Ravens must win. I think that this is going to be a game where they pull away in the second half.
I have this game higher simply because it's an AFC North matchup.
Okay.
If you know AFC North ball, you know these games are never that.
Yeah, one of the worst divisions.
I never have fun watching AFC North football.
But I have a feeling that if this game does go to a blowout, this will be the game that Shedeur gets his first.
Shedeur, you're calling your shot on Shedeur coming in.
I agree.
All right.
Yeah.
They might bump it a few times. We'll see. Next up, let's continue with some more AFC North football. About Steelers and Bengals, as the Bengals continue to find ways to lose football games in crazy fashion. Somehow the Steelers, I think, are going to find their way against maybe historically the worst defense in the NFL. Maybe that at least rejuvenates and revives some sort of entertainment from the Steelers team, who has been just lackluster at best the last few weeks of entertainment value. So I'm putting Steelers-Bengals here next, just above that other AFC North battle.
Yeah, this game is very interesting to me because I don't really know what we have in either of these teams. I think both of these teams are kind of middling, and they got to win this game if they want any shot at a playoff chance. I don't know. I think the Steelers can still get to 9 wins, as we all say, but I feel like if they lose this game, we might be seeing Mike Tomlin's first losing season in a while.
Yeah.
The standard is the standard.
Okay.
9-8. Steelers are gonna find a way. I think the first game against the Bengals, that was more the Bengals wanting it more. But I feel like right at this point in the season, with how bad that Bengals defense is, the Steelers are gonna find a way to win.
The Raiders' mantra is like just win, baby. The Steelers' mantra is just win enough, baby. In terms of where they are. Next up, Jags and Chargers here next in Jacksonville. Miraculously, the Jags, despite that just horrific, I called it top 5 Jags loss of all time last week, somehow are still in the playoff hunt. Actually, literally, they're the 7th seed right now, thanks to that win over the Chiefs. The Chargers still don't convince me, even after that Sunday matchup. Maybe their defense is coming along stronger than we think, but I may say that's more of a product of what Pittsburgh is. Chargers can't run the ball at all to help them save their lives in any sense of it. I'm going to find that interesting, where Jacksonville's defense can at least somehow withstand a game here where they don't collapse over the last few quarters like they did in the last couple of games. So I'm interested to see what this matchup will tell us between two teams I don't really fully have faith in.
I had this at number 4, but now that I think about it, I think I overcompensated on what this game is going to be. Travis Hunter's out for the year.
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence hasn't impressed me at all this season. I think that he needs to, at this point of his career, he needs to show some gas, and I just feel like he has not. Against this Chargers passing defense that is playing out of his mind right now, I think this could be a low-scoring game. I think the Chargers should win this game, especially with the loss of Travis Hunter, and I think Brian Thomas Jr. may be out another week. But yeah, that was a tough loss. Maybe the defense can show up for the Jags, but I feel like Herbert should be able to pull this one out. This is a rematch of that playoff game where Brandon Staley choked it. So we'll see if those tensions are still running high.
Love that game. I could tell you, we could tell the story when Asa comes in about how we pulled him through that game. Dana, what you got?
To be honest, I ranked this game pretty far low on my list. I just didn't feel like this game was going to be that interesting because the Jaguars, I know Asa, you're listening, but you can come at me when you get in here. But I really don't think this game is going to be all that interesting.
Don't challenge him on that.
I think the Chargers they'll make this game very eventful for their fans and their fans only.
Wow. All right. Next up, I got the Cardinals and the 49ers here next. The Cardinals' wheels are falling off here after what they saw against Seattle. But I think there's still life here for this team. It just caught them on a bad sequence of events in terms of it. The Seahawks just absolutely pressured the hell out of them and made the Cardinals pay in a dear way. Niners, I think, are just a step down on what Seattle is and what they are, even though the Niners beat them earlier this year. But this is an important game for the 49ers, important for them to get back to the winning track. They have not had a winning streak since week 3 of this NFL season. You got to get it going here considering the schedule. So you're going to see some desperation here from the Niners. It's not easy to beat the Cardinals in Arizona. The Niners have not had success as of late in Arizona as well. So I find this is going to be interesting down in the desert.
Yeah, well, I also think that because the last 2 years, the Niners really haven't had a game of significance against the Cardinals at Arizona, and that's why I think that's the case there. But I think this game could be sneaky good. I have this literally middle of the pack. I think the 49ers have to win this game. I think this is one of those games as a 49ers fan, you're a little scared because it's a game that you should win, but it feels like a game that's going to be really, really close, especially how close the game was when they played in San Francisco. So I think this could be a sneaky good game. I have this right in the middle.
Well, I'm with Tanvir. I had it right in the middle as well, but I feel like the Cardinals fun meter comes back this week with it being close game.
Fun meter, yeah.
But yeah, I think this game will be fun and close, like past Cardinals games besides last week.
Next up, Vikings and Bears in Minnesota. The Bears are high on life, folks. The fans are in a precarious situation. What could go wrong? I'm ready to see the Vikings potentially crush those hopes and dreams. That is enough for me to put this in the top 6 of games this week. I cannot wait for the Bears collapse, and I think this is going to be a fascinating case study of what Chicago is. And if they do win, then we're going to have other conversations about this team. I think this really is, can the Bears be not the Bears and be a team that actually can contend?
Yeah, I think this is a highly anticipated matchup for me. I have this at number 3 on the week. I think the biggest matchup in this game is going to be Minnesota's pass rush versus Chicago's quarterback protection. They put so much money in that offensive line, and this is going to be a defining battle. The Vikings have been generating pressure at the 5th best rate in the NFL, and the Bears offensive line really need to find a way to keep Caleb Williams off of the ground. So that's going to be my matchup to watch. Minnesota leads this series 4-1 in the last 5 games, and I think the Bears, sitting in the 7 spot, this is a game they got to win, especially against a division opponent.
I had this in my 4 spot because this all goes back to the first game, this first matchup between these two, where we had that J.J. McCarthy super run. I have a feeling it's going to be a shootout between these two quarterbacks. I love J.J. McCarthy. I love Caleb Williams. I just want a good battle this week.
Do you like 9, sir?
Oh, 9. I love 9.
These next 5 are like the dessert upon dessert. It is hard to pick between my 5 children that I have here at the top of my list. And I'll start with number 5, and it's the Sunday night matchup between the Eagles and the Lions. And 2 teams that I'm looking at as they look like contenders. They feel like contenders. They play like contenders, and yet I think there's a little bit of something off between both these teams, and it's going to matter between both of these teams in terms of where maybe a playoff game is going to be played in the NFC, and I think there's a lot on the line there. Can the Eagles actually show they can have sustained success on offense? They seemed to regress last week, but maybe that's just simply the product of what Green Bay's defense was. The Lions, solid defense, of course, we know. But can the Lions stay out of their own way sometimes when they face higher caliber opponents, especially better defenses, and they struggle against it? The Eagles are going to be pass rushing on Goff. Goff, we'll see what he reacts to. The Minnesota Vikings frustrated them a couple weeks ago. I think this is going to be a fascinating chess match between two teams.
Yeah, and this could be a potential playoff matchup down the line between these two teams because the Philadelphia Eagles are sitting at number one in the NFC somehow, some way. The Lions, they've started to have an upturn in their season. So I have this at number 5 as well. I think that the big matchup, again, it's the secondary, the Eagles, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, Reed Blankenship and company versus Jamison Williams, who's had a couple of really good games over the last couple of weeks, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, and crew.
Had this game at 3. I have a feeling it's a future playoff matchup as well. Usually these two teams do well against each other. I like their matchups, so I think it'll be exciting.
Next up, I got Broncos and Chiefs in Denver. The Broncos dragged this down for me just because I think they played the least 5 entertaining games of the football schedule, and I don't think the Chiefs' style of football is aesthetically pleasing, but desperate game for the Chiefs. If they don't win this, then I would surely say, I don't think Patrick Mahomes is winning a division this year in the National Football League. So that's on the line for it. And the Broncos continue to seem like a flimsy 8-2 at best, and they got to prove it here in this game on Sunday, especially when they have them in their own house. So a lot on the line, lot to play for. Going to be a fascinating matchup.
I think it's a fascinating matchup for what comes out of this game, but I am not going to get goaded into putting a Broncos game top 5 anymore. I have this at, what is it, like number 8 or 9 for me. I just think this is going to be a low-scoring game. But if the Broncos can win, they'll go 4 games clear of the Chiefs, and I think there's no way that the Chiefs can recover from that. So we'll see how Bo Nix plays. I feel like, the Broncos have won 2 of the last 3 against the Chiefs, and we'll see if they can take that momentum into this game.
I am fully aboard that this Broncos team is like that 2020 Steelers team.
Oh, God.
So I have a feeling they're going to keep it close, but I think this is the start of the Patrick Mahomes resurgence for this season. We're going to see that black magic come back. But I had this at 2.
We'll go quickly through the 6 you. It had to hit the break, but here we go. Bills and Bucks as my next one here in Buffalo. The Buffalo Bills seem broken a little bit, and the Bucks are broken in terms of their physical nature of their team based off of the injuries. But maybe some guys come back for this Bucks team. Bills really certainly losing step in this AFC East, and these are two teams that feel like a win really can boost them throughout the rest of the season. Going to be an interesting matchup defensively on both sides, I would say, as well, and where they react to it. Going to be interesting in Buffalo.
Yeah, this is number 2 for me. Both of these teams, I think before the last couple of weeks, we were thinking maybe Super Bowl contender, but they've kind of faltered over the last couple of weeks. Buccaneers due to injury, Bills just due to terrible play, and also injuries along that D-line. So a big win coming out of this for whoever can win this one. I think they're going to be fireworks in this one. So, yeah, give this to me at number 2.
2 hungry teams coming off of very strange losses. I think it'll be exciting because they're both going to they need the win.
Number 2, Rams and Seahawks in L.A. Battle for the NFC West, you could say, between these two teams. And the Rams certainly are my Super Bowl pick for this midseason form. But the Seattle Seahawks have certainly some things to say about what this division will say. We're going to learn a lot about these teams. Potential MVP conversations around these games as well. Record-setting offenses potentially against some defenses that cause the best pressure in the National Football League. This might be an NFC championship preview in LA, and I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, this is my number 1 game of the week. The Rams throw the ball 56% of the time, and for Stafford to stay upright and have a clean pocket, they're going to have to prevent this Seattle pass rush, which has been playing out of its mind. They're the number 1 in pass rush pressure rate this year, and I think if the Rams line can't contain them, I think the Seahawks could pull away in this game. So this is my number 1 game of the week.
my number one game of the week as well. I mean, looking at more than just the QB matchups, but looking at the wide receiver matchups with how good they are, I just love this game.
I'm interested if Devontae plays because of his oblique injury.
I think he'll be fine, but we'll see how it all turns out. And of course, my number one game of the week that I cannot wait to watch see, Thursday Night Football, when my New England Patriots take on the New York Football Jets. Anybody like 40 burgers? Can't wait to eat them up on Thursday.
I wonder who had this lower, me or you.
I was waiting for one of you to recognize what was going on here.
Oh, we recognized it like midway. We're like, this guy is a madman.
Dude.
It's me. It's my list. All right, be serious about this game. I mean, it's got to be lower, obviously. The Jets are a joke. But I can't wait to see the Nor'easters and where it all plays out. But I will say, rival jerseys, not great right now. I'm a little nervous about that.
Yeah, this is 13th for me out of 15
Yeah,
games,
fantastic.
So. Did you have it lower?
14.
Yeah, I know. You guys are going through the list, and you're like, where is he going? Oh, he did the thing, didn't he?
As soon as you said the Jets and the Patriots wasn't bottom three, I was like, okay, he's going to have it like 2 or 1.
And that is your Benotti Blitz, brought to you by Grocery Outlet here. All right, take a break. We'll come back, wrap up the hour next. Stay with us on Behind the Bench on 1430.
Get ready for game day with Toledo's Football Party Pack. 2 dips, queso, guacamole, or bean and chorizo. Order online, pick it up fast at any of the 3 locations, and you're set. Or head to Toledo's new sports bar at Cedar and Knees, the Valley's new game day headquarters, for your favorite college and NFL matchups on the big screens. And you'll love their happy hour, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5. Saturday and Sunday, 8 to 10, with $10 apps and $7 house margaritas. Toledo's Mexican restaurant, your winning game plan.
On game day, don't just settle for weak snacks. You go big, like a boss. The Butcher Boss brings you the kickoff platter, stacked high with man-sized, fully cooked meats. Tender sliced tri-tip, fall off the bone, pork spare ribs, smoked sausage, fiery jalapeno poppers, already sliced, already prepped. This Sunday, don't just watch the game, own it with a kickoff platter from the Butcher Boss. So call today to pre-order yours. The Butcher Boss, 41 south of Riverstone.
Game day just got a whole lot sweeter and a little bit saucy. KFC's bringing back one of the most requested plays in menu history, the original Honey Barbecue. That's right, that sweet, smoky, finger-licking legend for the late 90s is back and better than ever. Now you can get that classic Honey Barbecue flavor on everything, including their 2-piece chicken combo for $10.99 or the original Honey Barbecue chicken sandwich for $11.99. The original Honey Barbecue, sweet, savory, and back in the game. And it's happening only at KFC.
Get ready for the ultimate Monday Night Showdown, only at Chichancy Gold. Starting September 8th through December 29th, win your share of $80,000 in giveaways, including $51,000 in e-cash. Earn entries all day Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. Then join us for drawings every Monday from 5 to 8 p.m. Swipe your rewards card during the game inside Firehouse Lounge for a free entry into over $28,000 in prizes, including football gear and more. Game day starts here at Chichancy Gold.
Fall is here, and it's time to get moving at Valley Athletics. Phil Benotti from Behind the Bench telling you about new programs coming up. Starting soon, you can sign up for monthly memberships for K through 8th graders working on volleyball, basketball, and strength and agility. It's as little as $15 per class. Speaking of sign-ups, the great facilities there are always available for rentals, including birthday parties. So take advantage of that today, especially as we get to those colder months. You can find all the sign-up information on the website valleyathletics.co. Valley Athletics, developing the athlete in everyone.
At Citizens Business Bank, we've been taking a personal approach to banking for over 40 years and are consistently recognized as one of the top performing banks in the nation. Hi, I'm Susan Woosner, Senior Vice President and Manager of Citizens Business Bank in Fresno. We believe in the importance of building long-lasting and genuine relationships with our customers. We want to provide you with the solutions you need to grow your business because your success is our success. Citizens Business Bank, member FDIC.
More fiber and laxatives, eh?
Who are you?
I'm Future You. Future me? Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Our doctor figured it out. It's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
From 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. We have our CFB rankings that just came out during the hour. Frankly, I'm always lukewarm on the CFB rankings. I just don't really, frankly, think they matter. But like, it's all arbitrary. It's all manufactured. We all know it is what it is. But here we are with the rankings, and anything stand out from you guys from that side? Because to me, it's like we're all going to figure it out by the end of the season. There's going to be some games that are going to obviously determine it in that factor. But I just don't know if I really truly feel like I'm going to know everything right now at this stage of things. But I think what we've heard general reaction is that like BYU fell pretty considerably. Is that what it is? Even though they lost to a team that's up there, like I didn't figure they would lose that much ground because of it was a blowout, though. It was a pretty significant blowout.
Yeah, I mean, it was a matchup between number 7 and number 8, and BYU. I think they lost like 26 to. It was 29-7. That's what it was. And so I'm not going to say shocked that they just fell completely out. Mm-hmm. If you actually just look at the rankings themselves, BYU is at number 12. But the fact that they're like the first team out at this point because the ACC doesn't have anybody good that's currently in the Miami jumps them because of the conference rule. So I wouldn't say it's that big of a drop in terms of that, but in terms of the college football playoff bracket itself, yeah, they did get dropped out of the 12-team bracket. So that was, I wouldn't say surprising, but we'll see if they can recover from that.
Dan, what about you?
Is this a case of good loss?
I don't know if it is, right? Because is the margin matter? Like I thought margin was something like if you just lost, you lost. I didn't know if like they took into account margin because I thought that's what the computers did. But now, like
I know the committee is
by 20.
Yeah, I know the committee is taking context of losses and wins into account. So we'll see how it pans out.
Was it BYU at Tech, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's hard to do. Like that's hard. Like road game, things get away, and I think margin doesn't really mean like it tells you the story of the game. Like, I just don't. I don't fully believe like, the Niners were down pretty considerably, but like you could argue, game flow and the way things kind of went. It's like okay, they cut it to like 16 at the tail end of that game, but it's not like really it was 16. It really felt like a 28-point.
I even cut it to 7.
Yeah, they did. So. They did. It drew my my friend Daniel into the game, and he proceeded to tell me to go screw off. So from that perspective, anyways, I know he's listening, so he's about to message us in that sense. All right. Anyways, rankings are out. Go enjoy them, or not, or maybe you don't care. And we're going to move on, and we're going to go to the next hour here, one more hour of the show next. And, yes, we're going to be joined by Asa, but we're going to be joined by Jorge as well. Real quick, I want to just bring him in for just Veteran Day vibes and maybe a funny story from the weekend. Potentially we'll dissect it all. So we'll talk about that, plus some Fresno State. Phil's 5 at 5 also coming up next as well. So plenty more sports talk next on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
Fresno County is filled with talent, but opportunity doesn't always reach every student. The foundation at FCOE is just $100,000 away from reaching our $1 million endowment for excellence. This fund safeguards life-changing programs, from academic decathlon and career expos to arts, leadership, and college readiness, ensuring opportunities for students now and for generations to come. Join us. Every gift builds tomorrow. Visit fcoefoundation.org/raise to 1 million.
Your Fresno State Bulldogs are fighting for that Mountain West Championship. There's nothing better than rooting for your Bulldogs as they battle it out on the gridiron, representing your city of Fresno. Bring the whole family and get loud cheering on your Bulldogs at Valley Children's Stadium all season long. Be sure to check out GoBulldogs.com today for information on special events and to grab your tickets for upcoming home games. Go Dogs!
The deadline to receive the 30% federal solar tax credit is December 31st. That's the day your new solar system must be operational. The deadline to call Donald P. Dick is Friday, November 21st. A new solar system starts at under $10,000. Donald P. Dick will provide a proposal with all the details for you to make an informed decision. Let Mr. Cool show you how to drive down the cost of home energy. Call 559-255-1644 for Donald P. Dick.
At Helena Agri-Enterprises, we're committed to helping you make the best agronomic decisions for your farm. That's why we combine cutting-edge technology with superior product. Helena's agri-intelligence solutions use in-depth analysis to identify potential problems in the field before they take root. Combined with a complete line of high-quality crop production and crop protection inputs, Helena has the tools to help you increase productivity, enhance performance, and maximize your return on investment. Contact your local Helena representative or authorized dealer to create the right plan for your farm with Helena products and agri-intelligence solutions.
At FFB, we know behind every business is a person. That's why we're more than a bank. We're a partner, a farming-focused bank for hard workers, a future-forward bank for big dreamers, and a family-friendly bank for the next generation of owners. From first ideas to major milestones, we're here to help you chase your goals and score big. So what can FFB mean for your business? Find out at ffb.bank. That's ffb.bank. FFB Bank. Let's win together.
Are you a business owner struggling to understand how cloud technology can help your business? Are you in need of computer and technology support for your employees? M-Cubed Technologies is your solution for fully managed IT services. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. M-Cubed will be your partner in the digital world, allowing your business to carry on worry-free. We specialize in cloud hosting, Microsoft 365 management, general IT support, and VoIP phone services. Call M-Cubed Technologies today to discuss our partnerships.
Craving big flavor? Head to Me and Ed's Victory Grill in Fresno. Bite into the legendary Victory Burger, dig into the fall-off-the-bone ribs, or share the ultimate Victory Platter with friends. From those legendary Me and Ed's pizzas to fresh salads, cold drinks, and a warm hometown vibe, every bite and sip is a win. Watch the game, catch up with friends, or bring the family. Me and Ed's Victory Grill in Granite Park, Fresno. Don't miss ESPN's Major Wager Monday Night Football every week. Come hungry, leave a champion. Victory tastes better here. This November, keep your vibes high and your wallet happy at Valley Pure Dispensaries. We've got fire flower, tasty edibles, and concentrates that make every sesh a celebration. And all November long, the savings are smoking. Join us Saturday, November 15th at Valley Pure Farmersville for our 6-year anniversary bash with food trucks, a live DJ from 4 to 7, and massive deals like BOGO Stizzy Vapes, 50% off Dabwoods, and exclusive giveaways. And don't forget, all 5 Valley Pure locations are open on Thanksgiving. Stay lifted, stay thankful, stay Valley Pure.
Your home for high school sports. 1430 ESPN, the Valley's local sports leader. KFIG Fresno.
You see no change in the top 5 teams in the second rankings of the season released tonight by the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. Ohio State still 1, followed by Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama and Georgia, Texas Tech 6, Ole Miss 7, Oregon 8, Notre Dame, Texas, Oklahoma, BYU rounding out the top 12. ESPN College Football Insider Heather Dinich.
Reese, there's evidence of how important the eye test is to this selection committee all over this ranking. And you're going to start with Indiana and Texas A&M. I guarantee you people in that room cared about Fernando Mendoza and how he willed Indiana to that win at Penn State, realizing it's a 3-6 Penn State team. Indiana's defense, Indiana's overall efficiency, number 3 in the country. How they're winning matters.
Milwaukee's Pat Murphy, NL Manager of the Year, a second straight year. Cleveland's Stephen Vogt, AL Manager of the Year. NBA, the Knicks unbeaten at home, hosting the Grizzlies. New York leading Memphis 25-22 first quarter. Also in the first quarter from Brooklyn, where the Nets have an 18-12 lead on the Raptors. 76ers without injured center Joel Embiid against the Celtics tonight due to right knee soreness. There is no timeline for his return. NHL, Bruins going for a 7th consecutive win, out to a 3-1 lead on the Maple Leafs. First intermission, Toronto netminder Anthony Stolarz, 3 goals on 10 shots. Elsewhere on the ice, Canadiens up 1-0 on the Kings after 20 minutes. Second period from Ottawa, Senators with a 2-0 lead on the Stars. Capitals up 1-0 on the Hurricanes after 1. Jags top receiver cornerback Travis Hunter out the rest of the season following surgery to repair the LCL in his right knee.
Hey, this is Rich Eisen. Coming up Wednesday, Kurt Warner's weekly breakdown of the best and not so best from the week in the NFL, plus brand new power rankings. Wednesday on The Rich Eisen Show on Disney+, the ESPN app, and ESPN Radio.
He's got the knowledge.
Because once again, I have to come on there and talk about how right I am once again. In anything that it comes to sports.
He's got the questions.
I'm going to lose it. Are you kidding me? What are we doing here?
He's got the guests.
20th head coach in Fresno State history here, Matt. Is it hard to believe sometimes still the 20th head coach here in program history?
It's all moved really quickly here over the course of the last 5-6 weeks. But super excited to be here.
Phil Benotti is the voice for the Central Valley sports leader. Behind the Bench starts now. Brought to you by Helena Agri.
That's right, Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN, Fresno the Valley's local sports leader here on this hour number 3, taking up to 6 o'clock tonight into ESPN programming. You can call into the show, Lee's Air Hotline, 559-320-1430. To join the show here. Pleased to be joined by a couple of new additions to the show for this final hour. Of course, you know him in the 5 o'clock hour on Tuesdays. Asa's here as he usually is. Asa, how are we doing?
I'm well. How are you, Phil? Thanks for having me on.
I told people I cannot read the text you sent me on air in live because of what I said about your Jaguars-Texans game this Sunday. But frankly, I heard you missed most of the game anyway. So
I missed the half of the game that I needed to watch, and the juju was just thrown off, and that's what I'm blaming it on.
So now you're forcing yourself, like Clockwork Orange, to watch the Jaguars next Sunday.
If you need me on, if that goes for anyone in this room, if you need me on a Sunday, no, you don't.
Well, there you go. There you go.
I don't care if you're on fire. Figure it out.
Ace is here. He's hot and ready to go.
Just like a Little Caesars pizza.
Was that a peppermint Starbies you got going on?
No, it's a salted caramel cream cold brew. It's just in a fancy cup now.
Just a little fancy cup. Mm-hmm. Anyways, we also got Jorge in here as well. And Jorge, happy Veterans Day.
Thank you.
Wanted to bring you in for Veterans Day real quick, just because I think it's important to have you on the air here for this holiday, and important to honor our veterans. And Jorge, just first of all, thank you for your service in the Army, in the military there, and appreciate you. You know, talk about today. You know, we always have the perspective. You know, Asa and I, of course, is people who observe this day and honoring our veterans, but I'm curious the perspective you have sometimes when Veterans Day comes around, and how you feel when you know people are talking to you and thanking you throughout the day today, as many other days as well. But
yeah, thank you. For the longest time, I didn't know what to say because it was really awkward for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had no idea how to react to a bunch of people thanking me, and like I didn't really feel like I did anything. And then I talked to a few other peers of mine that have been out for a while, and they told me just appreciate it and move on. Thank them and for their support and
certainly.
So that's what I do now. I thank everybody for their support because we need it.
Of course, and Ace, I don't know if you know how you were talking before the show, right before we came on, and he was telling you a little bit about his service and everything like that. I'm curious. I don't even know if you know the scope of what like Jorge served and
No,
what he was
I don't. I've learned. I think I knew that you served in the military, but like I never knew like what branch.
Yeah.
Or like what you did or when you were in there.
Yeah, that was it was 4 years and 10 months in the Army.
Mm-hmm.
I was a cabin crew member, 13 Bravo.
Where were you deployed?
I was deployed twice. Once in Baghdad, Iraq, my first tour, and then my second tour. It was like the Mason province, near the border between Iran and Iraq.
So like Middle East.
Yeah.
I had a buddy that was he was a helicopter gunner.
Okay.
Actually, I know he was on a helicopter. I don't remember if he was a gunner, but I remember he told me a story involving a helicopter and a guy not in the helicopter. I don't know. I don't think I should talk about it on the air, but still. Yeah. I mean, he was also stationed in the. I think he wasn't in Kuwait. Anyway, Anthony Odell, if you're listening, but thank you for your service.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Also, my cousin Kevin was also stationed out in the Middle East. I know a lot more people stationed out in the Middle East now that I'm starting to think about it.
We kind of grew up in that time, right? All of us are kind of in that era where that was kind of what was going on. And,
yeah. If you're going to go somewhere, that's where you're going.
That's where you were going, certainly. Yeah. And Jorge, do you feel like, getting here, like the service and your time there and getting to this point here where you're at the station doing what you're doing, do you I'm sure you're thankful for the path you've taken to get here and all that stuff.
Yeah, my family was crucial to me. Being here. After you get out, sometimes it's difficult to know where you're going.
Yeah.
And taking the path, it took me a while to realize okay, I want to go back to school.
Yeah.
I was working, doing other stuff, but eventually I was like, might as well take advantage of my GI Bill, and then went to school and got into journalism, and it landed me here. So
yeah, exactly.
That's cool. Yeah.
And now you're the most famous sports producer here in the Central section.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
While the other producers are having a competition between each other right now, currently manufactured by I think one side of this side. I don't know. Tavir and Daniel are well aware of it. It might come out upon our socials later today. So
hey. When I have to produce a show for them, they can talk.
Okay, all right. Shout out to my dad. He's a veteran as well, naval vet in the Navy as well. And shout out to my grandfather. He's passed a long time ago, but he was in Pearl Harbor.
Was he really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was pretty insane to think about that. And, how life can certainly change in an instant if things go a different way there on that day. And, just that's what I think of Veterans Day. You guys, you got anything for Veterans Day from your perspective?
Yeah. A lot of growing up through high school, a lot of my friends went to the military. My friend Camille, my friend Kay, a lot of people that I worked with because I used to work at Clovis East. Clovis East has a junior ROTC program, and Colonel Walter Miller and Master Sergeant Patrick Latour. All those guys were some of my best friends. So I want to thank them for their service and what they've done for our country.
Yeah. What about for you, Danielle?
I got a couple uncles. I have an uncle and a cousin who served, and I also got a couple friends right now. I'm thank you for your service for Sophia and Gary. Both of them, they've done a lot.
And you're even telling me, and apologies if I'm sharing this on air, you've considered military path at some point. You even still, as you're young in your college career, you're still even thinking about that.
Yeah.
Your draw to the military. Tell me a little bit about what draws you to that idea potentially for you, and what you think about when it comes to the military aspect of it.
Yeah, so during senior year of high school, I was really considering joining the Navy. I was getting to that point where it looked like I'd probably sign. But ultimately, I decided not to. Really, for me, the reason I wanted to join was just, I kind of wanted a purpose, I guess. I guess I was a bit of on the lower end, and I was like, you know what? I want to do something where I have a purpose, and I also realized the benefits it would give me later on in life. So I was like, I really did consider it at one point. I still don't think it's a bad thing. I think anybody that does it, I'm very thankful for them.
Yeah, certainly. It touches a lot of people's lives in different ways, and of course, the younger people who go into the generation of like where Daniel is in and making those choices, and of course seeing those who have made those choices long ago or not so long ago. Today is important to recognize those who help defend this country and do what we do and do the silly things we do on these weekdays like we do, Asa.
Yeah.
I wanted Jorge in here too because I heard a funny anecdote happen over the weekend between you two. Not manufactured by me at all. I thought it was Asa, Jorge has a compliment to give you, and I want to say,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
When I was telling you, like when we started hearing, because okay, so I set it up. Let me set it up.
Yeah, go set it up.
So I'm at Gold Sneeze with some friends, and all of a sudden I'm like, we're in the back of it, so you hear the sounds from inside, but all of a sudden we start hearing the ska music play, and I'm like, man, this is really good. Oh man. And then I'm like, I tell my buddy, like, we should just go out there and start dancing ska, like kicking up, and I wish I had some suspenders right now. I'll be like, yeah. But yeah, and then so we get up and we're gonna leave, and we go to the front of the instead of going to the side, we go to the front, and I just see you, and I'm like, wait, is that him?
I saw you walking up, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's Jorge. And like you looked at me, and like you're like doing the thing where like I think I know you. And you're like, hi Jorge, and you're like, oh, what's up, man? And you like give me a fist bump
because I heard you, and I'm like, that sounds like Asa, but I don't know if he's a drummer because you're always saying you're a drummer. I don't know if you were a singer. I never heard you. So I'm walking up there, and I saw you, and I'm like, is that really him? And then when I saw that it was you, that's when I said Freebird.
Yeah. He yelled Freebird on his way out, and I was like, you know what? I respect it.
And a buddy of ours who's listening is probably very proud of Jorge for doing so.
Honestly.
In terms of that. Jorge, you're gonna go to more shows now, I guess, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You missed a good time. It was actually a really good show.
The only reason I wasn't there because I'm fake, first of all, and second of all.
Fake friend.
I was at Taco Throwdown.
Fake friend.
Yep, that's me. Fake Phil. Don't wear it out. Ace, it's the holiday season. You got any shows coming up or?
Visalia Porch Fest, November 29th. I was actually getting really upsetty spaghetti because I was like, they're announcing the lineup, and I'm like, I spent 10 years of my life in this band in Visalia. I'm like, I'm not gonna play Porch Fest.
I'm like, I should be able to play.
I'm not even kidding. My buddy Andrew, 5 minutes ago, was like, "Hey, I got you guys on my porch." Andrew, for one thing, congrats on getting married. Also, thank you for letting us play your porch. Shout out Bigfoot and the Moon, and also Grace Note Music Studios.
Yes.
For hosting us. That's gonna be fun. So if you're down in Visalia.
Is it the exact vibes of Fresno Porch Fest?
Yeah, so I think it's going to be like in the homes and porches and stuff surrounding downtown.
Off of
and not the Oval.
Off of Lovers Lane?
Not off of Lovers. No, because Lovers Lane runs the other way.
No, I just love that.
I know. I can't believe that there's the city planner was like, yeah, let it sit. Let's just be Lovers Lane. Why not? Which, by the way, if you take it all the way north as it can go, it runs into a ditch.
That's where love takes you.
A ditch?
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes.
Well, yeah, okay.
It's to death do you part, right? Is that not what it is?
Yeah, not till ditch to you part.
Yeah. Where do you get thrown in where does your body get thrown in when you die?
In a grave, hopefully.
And what is that grave made of?
Dirt? Where are you getting at, Phil?
It's a ditch. It's a ditch. You get buried in a ditch. Everybody does.
But it has to have water.
This took such
a ditch does not have water.
It's such a weird term.
Does a ditch have water?
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Ditch with water, that's a canal.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess they don't call it the ditches of Venice. You know what? You might have me there. They started going into the ditches of Venice like the last people would go.
We're a sports station. We should just take a break now because we got to get to the 5 at 5. And anyways, Jorge, thank you for your service. I just wanted to bring in here and tell you that. I'm sure everybody else here shares the same sentiments to you, Jorge. Thank you for your service today.
I'm gonna go back The computer
Go
stuff.
go get your Applebee's.
My free Applebee's.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back with more Behind the Bench right after this.
So, Dad, Mom says you're both retiring next year.
That's right. Finally time to start doing all the things we've been saving for.
I love it. Have you figured out how to convert your 401ks and investments into income for that?
Actually, I have no idea how to do that. I guess I better figure it out so I can start spending your inheritance.
Just call Duker Modern Wealth Management. I met one of their advisors at a 401k meeting. Then I had them do a complete financial plan for me.
Your mom and I could use that kind of help. But why Duker?
Well, they're different. They use innovative software designed to show you a detailed picture of your finances. And their advisors work as a team to evaluate your retirement options from all angles. They can help you and Mom, just like they helped me.
Huh. I guess I should call Duker.
Right. And about my inheritance, go ahead and spend it. I'm good.
The advisors of Duker Modern Wealth Management are registered representatives with and securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Football season's here, and it's time to upgrade your home team's game plan with Robinson's Interiors. Whether you're hosting the big game or relaxing after a win, the right flooring can make all the difference. From durable hardwood to cozy carpet, Robinson's Interiors has the best selection and unbeatable prices, all backed by professional installation the Valley has trusted for over 40 years. So give yourself home field advantage. Don't wait for the touchdown. Visit Robinson's Interiors in Fresno and Hanford today. Robinson's Interiors, the Valley's flooring MVP.
The sound of bees means lots of blooms, and lots of blooms means a profitable crop year. But those delicate blooms can easily be destroyed by adverse weather conditions, which in turn can be devastating to your crop investment. Now is the time to secure multi-peril crop insurance, which covers your almond crop during bloom. Bowman & Associates, your local crop insurance specialist, has been writing crop insurance for almost 40 years. Bowman & Associates is one of the largest crop insurance agencies in the state and nation. Call Roger Kent or Quinn Bowman today and ask about their multi-peril crop insurance for almonds. Bowman & Associates can design a policy with protection based on your own production experience. Ask about the new Price Option Plus, which increases the insurance price per pound to make it closer to the market price of almonds. Deadline for multi-peril coverage is December 31st. Call Bowman & Associates at 499-2020. That's 499-2020. California Department of Insurance license number 0F64178.
Bowman & Associates, the crop insurance specialists.
Fresno, get ready for the flavor you didn't know you were missing. Chopped Cheese Bodega on the northwest corner of Blackstone and Bullard in Fresno, next to the 7-Eleven, is now open and serving up the East Coast classic right here in the Central Valley. From loaded chopped cheese sandwiches to crispy fries and house-made sauces, this is not your average deli. Follow at Chopped Cheese Fresno on Instagram to see the full menu. Real meat, real cheese, real good. Chopped Cheese, Bullard and Blackstone in Fresno.
Strong company culture doesn't happen by accident. It starts with well-trained managers who know how to lead with purpose. The Sandler Management Accelerated Program is a 10-week course that gives your leaders a clear roadmap to management success. They'll learn how to manage, develop, and retain your most valuable resource, your people. The next cohort starts Thursday, November 20th. Learn more at Sandler.com. That's Sandler.com.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hour of our show before we send it off for you for the rest of the evening tonight. Hey, just a heads up, by the way, and we could discuss this here real quick. San Joaquin Memorial has announced that Jalen Green is getting his jersey retired next Wednesday. at San Joaquin Memorial Basketball's home opener against Bakersfield. So, Jalen Green, of course, joining the ranks, I would believe, of Quincy Pondexter, of the Lopez twins, to name a few, that'll be hanging in the rafters. That game is on 6:30 on November 19th. I believe 6:30 probably being the start of the ceremony. It's a pregame ceremony for Jalen Green. The tickets go on sale tomorrow. And you have to pre-order the tickets, it looks like. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. if you want to go to this game through San Joaquin Memorial Athletics. Seats are limited, so the tickets are required pre-bought for entry. You cannot walk up and try to buy tickets to this game that day. So
don't even try.
Just not even worth it. May have special additional news to that game, but I'm going to hold on to it later on. But what do you make? Hey, Jalen Green, even though I just saw Jalen Green got announced he has an injury he's going to be dealing with the next, 4 to 6 weeks?
4 to 6 weeks.
With a strained hamstring. But at least we'll have the time to see him come into town. I hear all kinds of stories that I don't know if we really know the lore, like what Jalen Green coming in and being the guy that he turned into. But there are a lot of stories like came out of really nowhere.
Yep.
Kind of what he turned into and what his hype was going into his draft status of that. But to say he's one of the best potentially to come out here in the Central Valley, there's a lot of different really good names that come out of the Central Valley. But it's great that they're going to be retiring his jersey number. I think certainly his career has a lot more to go, we hope. And I can't wait to see what that night's going to be like on next Wednesday. So.
Yeah, for sure. A little funny story. My brother actually played like just a pickup game of basketball with Jalen Green one time. He said he was hella cool, hella nice with him. So
yeah,
always appreciate that.
That's cool.
What else we got? I was going to mention one other thing in terms of it, but I just got sidetracked with something. But by the way, reminder: Sharks are on 790. If you want to listen to that, game just started. By the way, from it as well. Okay. So let's talk some football. Let's talk some Fresno State. I mentioned it earlier in the last hour, and now we have Asa here to join us and talk about it. And you were talking about Juju before the break. Asa, you're requiring me to watch games with you now. Is that what you've decided upon? You have found the thing.
I don't know. I don't know if the fates are going to look upon me kindly, but I think I've got it locked in.
Well. Are we allowed to talk about? We did talk about it off air. So
we have to talk about it now. We already put it out on the radio.
I guess so. We did. So here, and we'll dive into the psychology of what we're about to dive into. But Asa has said that anytime I watch the game with him specifically,
we have to be in the same vicinity.
The Bulldogs win.
Yes.
Anytime Asa and I are so here are the losses because you weren't at the Kansas watch party.
No.
Yeah. So they lost that game.
Yep.
Then I was broadcasting a game for the Colorado State game. I was in calling Friday Night Lights. Did not see you during that game. And you were working during the San Diego State homecoming game.
Yep.
And I was there watching the Bulldogs, and you were not there. And you thought we had no chance to beat Boise State. And I we're myself and another friend of ours, Skyler, we were at your house, and we're 1-0. And now we're 2-0 at your house watching a game together with that as well.
Yes.
So we pointed it out. Anytime Asa and I watch a Fresno State game together or are in the same building, like a stadium.
Yep. As long as we're like, because sometimes like I could see you from my seats, and I'm like, there's Phil over there in the end zone.
Now, you guys think that the closer you guys are to each other, the bigger the scoring margin is?
The bigger the powers to be. I mean...
Well, because Southern...
We sat next to each other for the end of the Nevada game, and that was as brutal of a finish as it could be. It was as close.
It was a nail-biter.
This is wrong.
Yeah. Outside of the Nevada game, I think that counts.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Now, does this all sound deranged and psychotic?
Yes, absolutely it does. I know that.
But does it work?
But if it's stupid and it works, it ain't stupid.
So here's the psychology I ask for in this whole situation. And Asa, you are an expert on fates of anything like that. When you point this out now and speak it to the realm, for the people who are listening, does that now negate the effect of it? Because now the fates have heard.
It's a coin flip. Because sometimes you can call it out and they'll be like, all right, whatever. Like, he seems sad. We should let him have this one. Sometimes if I get too high on my horse,
Yes.
they're like, too happy, and the world and thus the world finds balance.
Yes. But it's a balance of whether you've gamed the system or not, and if you think you've gamed the fates will say no.
they don't. They're like, no.
All right, makes sense.
So we gotta find out on Saturday.
Does this all sound like blabbering nonsense to you guys, or is this actually legitimate analysis of what's going on?
Well, I'm a guy who changes shirts based off of what happens at a 49ers game.
My man.
So I can't really call you guys out for it.
My Jags juju worked at the 49ers game.
It did.
Just by the way.
It did. You stopped watching the game on Sunday this past week, and all hell broke loose.
Because I had stuff. Oh my god!
Davis Mills turned into Joe Montana.
General Mills. General Mills going on.
They don't even make the good cereal.
What does General Mills make? Hold on, I'm looking this up. Daniel, do you do any juju stuff?
I'm a firm believer that whenever I don't watch an F1 race, my favorite driver will win. And when I actually watch, something bad just always happens.
Okay.
See, that's real though.
That is
because I do that with Diamondbacks games sometimes.
General Mills makes Lucky Charms, Reese's Puffs, French Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Chocolate Toast Crunch. What is that? Cereals? Cheerios?
We're a sports station.
There's a chocolate toast crunch.
We're Googling cereal.
All right.
I love it.
Outside of the crazy analysis we just did in the last 6 minutes, legitimately Fresno State playing, I think on one side of the ball playing legitimately elite football.
Yes, absolutely.
On the defensive side. The field position battle we talked about in the Boise game. I think everything that could go wrong went wrong for Boise in that game, and it turned into a 30-7 victory for the Bulldogs. I'm not going to take any credit away from the Bulldogs on it, but let's be fair, Boise, had so many penalties. It was crazy to count in terms of how those drives sustained itself, and then, of course, on the turnover margin and department. Is it fair to assume that can be, at least in the turnover department, is it fair to assume that can happen continually down the stretch of the next 3 games, that this defense can do that to these offenses that we feel aren't necessarily the greatest offenses in the Mountain West?
If you get enough turnovers, you can eventually stumble yourself into a touchdown.
Yeah.
As long as, hard to score. It's hard to score when you're on defense, and at least if you can force a turnover, then great. It's going to be a lot harder for them to score. And we saw in the Boise game, you can every dog has its day.
Yeah.
You can you can find the end zone on it. If you can get 3 turnovers and find the end zone on one of them, that, I think that's a decent day.
Here, I'll turn the phrase around against me, like I said before. Like I said, if it talks like a duck, walks like a duck, acts like a duck, it's a duck.
Yeah.
Right? And I said this when it came to the offense and its ability to turn the ball over at a perplexing amount of rate. But I could also say you are who you are if you're a defensive side that forces turnovers all the time. You can then assume turnovers can happen for you, and you can game plan to that aspect and be able to allow yourself the idea of if we get a couple, it's not an if, it's a matter of really when, because this defense has shown it's capable of doing that. And then you can feel confident that you can punt the ball away a little bit more, and you can play the field position battle a little bit more, and maybe the Boo Birds want to come out in the first and second quarter because it's 3-0 Fresno State for a while.
Yeah.
But I understand that you're waiting to pounce on this team like Wyoming is, because they can make a mistake if they get into situations against our defense, like a 3rd and long situation, where then you ramp up a blitz and Simeon Harris comes off the edge and then he knocks a ball out and Jason Jacks recovers, just like in Boise.
Right.
So I want to believe that it's fair to assume that this coaching staff is game planning towards this defense doing what it's been doing all year long, which is forcing turnovers. And I don't think that's a crazy thing to think that that's what this coaching staff is believing when they come into this game. It's going to be conservative on Saturday. It will be a conservative approach. And I know fans are going to get frustrated about it, but I think that's the best way this team has a chance of winning the next 3 games.
Agreed. And that's been their game plan for the last couple of weeks in terms of, especially in the Boise State game, it was really conservative. And on the offensive side of the ball especially. But yeah, if you could turnovers are big plays, and we're always looking for big plays, especially in games that are lower scoring. So relying on that defense is going to be key.
Will you allow yourself the patience at 3-0, 8 minutes left in the second?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you're sitting there, it is punt back and forth.
Yeah,
here we go.
If it's a Super Sickos game.
Yeah. We're getting there. It's a low scoring affair. It doesn't feel like we're throwing it all over the place. We really feel like it's just not that team.
Judging from Tanvir's analysis in the previous hour, it sounds like the immovable object versus the immovable object.
Yeah, I guess so. Also my analysis, but...
Well, give it to Tanvir. It's your show. Throw him one.
No, Tanvir's got good.
He's getting angry.
Daniel, you got anything on what we were kind of talking about? Really, it's just like what this team is going to be doing is going to probably be aesthetically not pleasing to watch, but it'll be what it does to win football games.
Oh, it'll be very unpleasing. I've got a scenario for you.
Give it to me.
It's 5-3. Fresno State up at the start of the third.
Are you channeling?
Safety.
Are you channeling?
We're calling a safety?
Are you channeling Chargers Steelers second quarter from on Sunday? Is that what you're channeling?
That's very much what it's going on.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. I'm there. Hey, does Aaron Rodgers have another year of eligibility left?
Eligibility. Man.
All right. We got a 5-5 to do. We'll do it real quick. Real simple. Top 5 important Bulldogs for the rest of the season. We don't need to spend too much talking about each guy. I'm sure we'll have some overlap, so I want to do that real quick. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
Yep.
We'll go through it, and we'll get that there.
It's time now for Phil's 5 at 5.
All right, and not too different way to take on it. It's really just a matter of who's going to impact this team down the stretch the most and what it's going to determine in terms of this team wanting to win 3 straight games as we approach the end of the season. And I'll start with
number 5.
I'll go Jaden Pearson, who is a top guy nationally in terms of tackles he's involved in. I think he's kind of somewhat disappeared just a little bit from the defensive side the last couple weeks, although I think Boise, he showed up in a big way in some big TFLs, and I've been kind of hoping to see him return in some form or fashion. And I think he's got a real knack for finding his way to the football in this defense. And so I think Jaden Pearson is a guy who's going to really, really be involved in creating those third and long situations for the offenses that we're going to face, and I think he's going to be important. So let's go circle here with Tanvir.
Sounds good. I went away from like the big players that we usually know, but this is the one guy that is already a big player. I'm going to go with Rayshawn Luke. He's been outstanding. He's averaging 6.2 yards per carry. He's leading the team in touchdowns, and I think his speed is really game-changing. And although he doesn't get the same amount of opportunities as a guy like Donaldson does, he's the big play athlete that this team is going to need over these last couple of weeks. Now, with Wyoming and Utah State on the schedule, these are two teams that are pretty bad against the run. So I think his game-breaking abilities could be clutch down the final stretch. So, Rayshawn Luke at number 5 for me.
Daniel, what do you got?
I was going to take Joshua Freeman.
Josiah, yeah.
Or, Josiah, my fault.
No, you're good.
Yeah, but I just think he's one of our keys to our offense. I don't know much about this Fresno State team. I haven't been able to watch them as much as this season as in the past. But I know for him, if we can get the passing game going, I think he's definitely going to be one of our key targets.
I said Carson Conklin, and I think he doesn't need to make any big plays or anything. I think he just needs to be competent. Just be a competent passer. Make it throw your screens, throw your mid-level stuff. If you have a deep shot, take your deep shot. Great. I just think it's really important for Carson to at least get his arm warmed up a little bit, so that way they're not just stacking 8 in the box. And they have to at least honor the pass and open up the run game at least a little bit. Doesn't have to be good, just has to be okay.
Let's go to
number 4.
I got Brandon Ramirez, running back, especially in some situations where he is kind of the bruiser back for this team moving forward, and where we know what Rayshawn Luke can be capable of. We know what Bryson Donaldson can be capable of. But when those guys have to take rest, or we're in the short yardage situations, especially against physical front defenses like we are going to face over the next few weeks, those conversions are going to matter, especially with a guy who is capable of getting those kind of yards. And so I find those plays big, and I find him as a guy who, if you can lean on him to convert and be successful in it, he will be part of this offense that continues to, as I said before, needs to sustain some sort of drives in these games if they have hopes of scoring some points.
Yeah, number 4 for me, I'm going to go with Richie Anderson, the third, the tight end. I think for a team that's not been at the top of their game in terms of passing, they kind of need contributions from other weapons besides Josiah Freeman, and I think he's been pretty good, a solid piece, 24 catches, 233 yards, 2 TDs. I think a tight end can be, a quarterback's best friend, and I think in terms of, a new quarterback in this system, I think Anderson can certainly fill that role for the rest of the year. So, yeah.
Number 4, I'm taking Simeon Harris.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I just feel like he's one of our key pieces for the defense. He's great in the secondary. He's got 3 interceptions on the season. I'm doing my best with the lack of knowledge.
You're good, man. You're good. Yeah. No, don't panic. The Simeon Harris, don't panic mantra that he comes up with. That's a great standpoint on it.
Good pick.
Yeah, good pick for there. All right, so what do you got?
I got a twofer. I have Dejan Lafitte and Corey Foreman because I feel like Finn Claypool, that's his first name?
Yes.
Yeah, Finn Claypool, I think, has like 5.5 sacks. Corey and Dejan have, I think, 3.5 between the both of them. If they can get to the quarterback at least a little bit more consistently and drive up some pressures and stuff, I think, and at least put some pressure on the passing game, I think if they step it up, I think this defense is like is beyond rock solid.
Well, Coach mentioned Dejan Lafitte's much healthier through the bye. He got much healthier, so hopefully we have him at full strength for Saturday.
Number 3.
I got Josiah Freeman here because I've been looking for him to we need some wide receiver aspect or receiving aspect. You mentioned Richie Anderson, Tanvir. I mentioned Josiah Freeman as like a physical guy who can find a little separation in the middle of the field, find those easy routes that you complete, just get things in rhythm for Carson Conklin as a quarterback. Because sometimes when you're doing the rollouts and you're doing all those more difficult conversion throws, sometimes you need those little hitch routes to kind of work, or those little crossers to just kind of get things going, get in the rhythm. Trust me, it was working for me in my game last night I played on college football. get the momentum going. I'm not saying I'm the smartest guy, and I'm not saying I'm an offensive coordinator in college football, but I feel like the easy throws and the easy connections can be afforded, especially with wide receivers that can get separation like that, especially a guy who has a wide range with his long arms. Josiah Freeman, there's a lot of plays you can place the ball, and he can convert with a catch. So that's what I got there at number 3.
Yeah, I'm going to just talk about this guy, what this guy said last time. I'm going to go with Simeon Harris for me at number 3. I think this is a player that's emerged as a good piece opposite Alzillian Hamilton, and Simeon Harris leads the team in a multitude of pass coverage stats. And I think he's going to be crucial to locking down the back end against 2 good passing offenses in San Jose State and Utah State. San Jose State is actually averaging the most passing yards, I think, per game in the entire country. So he's going to need to be crucial in that game.
What do you got, Daniel?
Ezekiel Abbott.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I like Zeke.
Good pull.
Yeah. From what I'm seeing, he's obviously a sophomore. He's not getting as much playing time as he should, but I would have to watch more film from him, but I really think he'll definitely improve a lot. And
they go to him early in these games a lot. I see him really involved. They like to get him involved early, kind of as a guy who starts the pace of the offense. And they've gone away a couple of times now from him, but I feel like in the successful games, especially like the Hawaii game and the Nevada game, Zeke Avett has been phenomenal for them. In that situation. So I like that pick. Asa, what do you got?
We had the same number 3. I had Josiah Freeman because I think it's really important for a quarterback who's new in the system to have a really good pair of like very sure hands. And I think Josiah Freeman has that. I mean, just so that way he can get in the rhythm. If he has like a panic throw or something, like, I don't know, at least he knows someone's going to catch it.
Yeah.
Wherever, Josiah Freeman's a good all-around receiver. I really like him.
Good pick.
Number 2.
I got Finn Claypool here from the pressure side. I could have gone any ways of the defensive side, but his ability to force turnovers lately, his ability to maybe be a stuffer on the run outside as well, not just a rushing edge, but the way he attacks on the defensive side. He's hard to block because he's so low to the ground. I think he's got such an advantage in that way as well. And if we're going physicality on physicality, he's one of the most physical defensive linemen that we have on this roster. And so wrecking havoc, especially for a team like Wyoming that they get to play. And like I said, keeping him off schedule in that sense. I think he's going to be a real key down the stretch, especially if you're going to want to force some turnovers and make things happen on that side.
Yeah, For sure. My number 2 is going to be linebacker Kavion Thunderbird. I mean, besides having the best name on the team, I think this is the guy that can play well in coverage and run defense. He has a spark to him that I think this defense will need in the back end, and he's currently second in pass deflections and interceptions on the team, 4th in tackles. I think if he can elevate to even greater heights and match kind of the tackling production of a guy like Jaden Pearson, we could see a formidable linebacker duo rest of the season.
So my number 2, I'm gonna take Carson Conklin. I have a feeling he's just the key, I guess, to say to this offense.
Of course.
To just manage this game and just the rest of the season. If he can do a great job at that, maybe even win us a bowl game, I think we might see him stick around next season.
I have the running back room as a whole because I think if again
you're cheating a little bit.
I'm cheating a lot bit. Like I know. But I think if the running back room can get going and just keep the pressure off of Carson Conklin, so that way they can if he can lean on them a little bit, not as much, but again opening up that passing game, at least make the defense have to think. Are they running? Are they passing? Maybe get the play action going. It'll set them. I think it'll set the offense up really nice.
Number 1.
It's the quarterback. I went plain and simple. It's Carson Conklin. It's what he does from the quarterback position, and maybe what he doesn't do is what is going to be his most effective tool, which is don't turn the ball over in that sense. And he's had one good game of doing that, and he's had one bad game in doing that. I think there is a part of him that is waiting to emerge from this bye week that I think where he has the reps at quarterback with the 1s and with the 2s in terms of his receiving unit and getting the timing right and getting the effectiveness of where those throws need to go. It's going to be a cooler side of this of weather moving forward for him in this game specifically against Wyoming, but this is your quarterback now. I don't see a reason why they can change now because it'll certainly would cause different kinds of drama if they went back to EJ in some form or fashion. So Carson is the guy moving forward. He needs to seize the job. He is the guy they went after in the offseason. He is the man that can lead this team and has to lead this team if it wants to get to a Mountain West championship potentially down the road, playing in early December.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about the weapons and how they need to help out Carson Conklin. You obviously, Asa talked about the running back room. I'm talking about tight end. You talk about Josiah Freeman. And ultimately, it's on the quarterback. And that's why I also have quarterback Carson Conklin at number 1, obviously substituted for this Fresno State offense, and I think he's going to obviously be the more than likely starter for the rest of the season. His passing numbers weren't great, but they didn't need to be great in the Boise State game. So I think seeing how he responds in this second game for himself, especially off of a bye week, is going to be key, and I think providing mistake-less football is going to be necessary for Fresno State at the quarterback position, which, to alleviate what was an issue earlier in this season.
My number 1, I'm gonna take Dylan Lynch.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Kicker.
Yeah, he's 11 for 15 on the season. But with the way last game went, I'm gonna take 3 field goals, and just the way I feel this week is gonna go, and maybe the rest of the season, his points are gonna be the most crucial to our team.
I mean,
for sure.
Outside of him on the outside, he's been great on the continental United States.
He has.
It's been fantastic.
Continental United States.
Just don't put him on Hawaii.
Don't put him on Alaska, I guess.
Yeah. No, out of Hawaii, he was horrible. But outside of that, he's been great.
Puerto Rico games.
I got another 2 for only because I was going to call it a whole position group, but now I won't. Jacob Sponer and Braden Walton.
You can go outline. That's fine. Break the
He has 9 people in his top.
I have 11 guys. It's the offense.
I got the entire special team.
No, I think the offensive. I think the O line as a whole. I mean, because my number 2 and my number 5 depend on them almost exclusively. Because if they can generate push, the run game will be better established, and if they can buy Carson Conklin time to where he doesn't have to think about it, or he has time to think about it and not be able to not force a turnover and at least be able to think without having a guy in his face. I think all of that is the glue that puts together a successful Fresno State season for the next 3 games.
I think Carson Conklin not improvising is where Fresno State wants to be. It's not where he's scrambling around and trying to
make something happen.
No.
Yeah,
it's got to be design. It's got to be all on design in terms of the play call. All right. Let's play the outro.
That was Phil's 5 at 5.
Javier, Daniel, and Aisa. All right. Let's take a break. Let's wrap up the show next here on 1430 ESPN, Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
On game day, don't just settle for weak snacks. You go big, like a boss. The Butcher Boss brings you the kickoff platter, stacked high with man-sized, fully cooked meats. Tender sliced tri-tip, fall off the bone, pork spare ribs, smoked sausage, fiery jalapeno poppers, already sliced, already prepped. This Sunday, don't just watch the game, own it with a kickoff platter from the Butcher Boss. So call today to pre-order yours. The Butcher Boss, 41 south of Riverstone.
Hey, it's Phil Benotti from Behind the Bench. In sports, when you take a hard hit, you count on your team. In life, after an accident, your team is Davis and Van Wagenen, attorneys at law. Right here in Fresno, they've helped Valley families win the compensation they deserve, and you don't pay unless they win. Visit DavisVanWagenenLaw.com. That's DavisVanWagenenLaw.com. Davis and Van Wagenen, your hometown injury attorneys.
Mike Dermanuel Jr. of Hub International Insurance Group.
We're local, but our resources run all over the world. Leveraging the resources of a large organization, still living in the community, and really getting to know clients, that's the secret sauce of being really good in this industry.
Hub International. Learn more at hubinternational.com. License number 0757776.
If our clients succeed, we succeed.
The long goodbye begins. A very special evening with Journey. Final Frontier Tour. Friday, April 24th. Save Mart Center. The lights go down one final time. Tickets on sale Friday, November 14th at 10 a.m. at journeymusic.com. Journey. Final Frontier Tour.
For 80 years, Fresno Pacific University has been shaping the heart and soul of California as the Central Valley's only accredited Christian university. Today, our deep faith roots and pride in our community drive us to provide affordable, career-relevant education that transforms the lives of our students and the communities they serve. Discover your calling through over 100 undergraduate and graduate programs offered on campus or fully online. Fresno Pacific University. Learn more at fpu.edu.
Game day just got a whole lot sweeter and a little bit saucy. KFC's bringing back one of the most requested plays in menu history, the original Honey Barbecue. That's right, that sweet, smoky, finger-licking legend from the late 90s is back and better than ever. Now you can get that classic Honey Barbecue flavor on everything, including their two-piece chicken combo for $10.99 or the original Honey Barbecue chicken sandwich for $11.99. The original Honey Barbecue, sweet, savory, and back in the game. And it's happening only at KFC.
Quick, where can you find a great selection of Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Serta, and Mattress First bedding? Easy. The same place you'll find adjustable beds, sheets, pillows, mattress protectors, and more. Sleep Retreat, inside fashion furniture. It's worth the time to walk through and imagine what your home could look like with beautiful new furniture. Or how comfortable you'll be on your new mattress. Fashion Furniture on El Paso, across from River Park. There's nothing like it in all of California.
At Helena Agri-Enterprises, we're committed to helping you make the best agronomic decisions for your farm. That's why we combine cutting-edge technology with superior product. Helena's agri-intelligence solutions use in-depth analysis to identify potential problems in the field before they take root. Combined with a complete line of high-quality crop production and crop protection inputs, Helena has the tools to help you increase productivity, enhance performance, and maximize your return on investment. Contact your local Helena representative or authorized dealer to create the right plan for your farm with Helena products and agri-intelligence solutions.
I wonder if he's listening.
I think he's doing okay. I miss him sometimes.
He texted me the other day. He said, I saw you on TV. I was on KMPH with Gabe on Sunday's show. Actually, Gabe's going to go join us tomorrow for, I think, an hour. I think we're going to have him an whole hour tomorrow in terms of that. We'll also have some other guests in works with that. All right, we'll wrap up this hour. Real quick, let's schedule run through real quick here on 14th. The schedule that is just freshly made by Jorge here. Sharks are currently over on 790. That game is scoreless, wrapping up the first period. Sharks in Wild right now up in Minnesota. Tomorrow, Lakers and Thunder is at 6:15. Pregame 6:30. Tip-off there from OKC. Yeah, that's right. It's in OKC. I thought the Thunder with one loss on the entire year so far.
Oh, wow.
They might go 70-plus wins this year. I not just might. Maybe book it. Sunburn Sports Show at 6 p.m. tomorrow over at 790. That's an hour long, 6 to 7. Paul Metters hosting that. Thursday, we'll be back. Sportsline Bulldog Hour, Tony D, 2 to 3. Me, 3 to 5. Take you up before the Patriots and the Jets from New England, 5 p.m. for Thursday Night Football on 1430. On 790, the Sharks and the Flames will be playing 5:30 pre for a 6 p.m. puck drop in Calgary. Friday, we'll have Sportsline Bulldog Hour, Tony D, 2 to 3. We'll have my show from 3 to 5 before we head on out for Friday Night Lights, playoff edition, Clovis and Clovis West at La Monica, 6:30 pregame, 7 p.m. Kickoff. Lakers are going to be over on 790 as they play the New Orleans Pelicans in the Crescent City, I think they call it that. Yeah? No? Thumbs down from Daniel in terms of that.
I want you guys to know Pelicans were in his top 5 of teams to watch this year. So him doing thumbs down kind of makes me mad.
Bruh. No one had the Bulls, though.
Yeah.
No one had the Bulls. Let me tell you, the Bulls are...
Are the Bulls doing stuff?
Bulls are fascinating.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they just lost to Wemby.
And they still have a... Yeah. It's all right. Giddy's a guy. Paul Manners will have his Central Valley Sports Report on Saturday, 10 a.m. to noon, with all of the recap of the Friday Night Lights and high school football from around the region. I'd imagine, Tanvir, you'll be on that program again on Saturday, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I will. I've been on Saturday for the last couple
Have you had fun with the breakdowns, the high school?
I have. I've had a new sense of joy in terms of watching the high school game. I haven't paid attention to it as much as I have this year, and I've had a lot of fun going to games and breaking it down with Paul on Saturdays.
That's cool.
No, it's the high school season has been ramping up crazy, and we could have a really good matchup in the championships at a lot of different levels here. So
I think any combination of those 4 teams is going to be a very fun game.
Yeah, should be interesting. I have it written here. We're going to have some college football on Saturday as well. USC and Iowa is going to be on our 790 station at 12 p.m. So a little college football for our folks. And then, of course, on Sunday, we'll have the Niners taking on the Cardinals in the afternoon. And then on 790, we'll have the Rams and the Seahawks, that epic matchup from L.A. at noon pregame with a 1 p.m. Kickoff. We'll have Sunday Night Football, Lions and Eagles. We'll be back Monday with my show, 3 to 5, and take it to Cowboys versus Raiders.
Ooh.
Yeah. Sharks, scoreless through a period. I want to just mention real quick, and Asa, you having fun watching the Sharks this season?
You know what? I really am.
Yeah?
I am. I mean, like, Macklin Celebrini what? Tied for, like, fourth in
points right now. Points. I think he was number 1 a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Goals scored.
Yes,
in
that's
terms
what
of
it
that. ESPN actually has a really nice breakdown of like a lot of statistical stuff going on for the Sharks this season. In terms of it, of course, they're above 500 for the first time since 2022, March of 2022. They're 3 straight wins and have won 3 straight, and with a win, they'll have tied their longest win streak since October of 2021 tonight. With 4, they have not won 4 in a row in 4 years.
Oh, my God.
It's been more years since a win streak in terms of the length of that. The Sharks have also allowed 1 goal in each of the game in this 3-game win streak. It's the first time they've won 3 straight, allowing 1 goal or fewer since 2017.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Interesting stuff from this Sharks team. However, they have a section that says playing with fire. The Sharks right now have been outshot in every single game in this 6-game point streak.
That's such a Sharks stat.
Combined negative 60 shot differential in that span. That's only 1 ahead of the Maple Leafs for the worst shot differential since the span began in October 30th this year. The Leafs got worked by the Bruins the other day. By the way.
They did.
Felt great. Is Macklin him already? Are we there?
I'm getting there.
Yeah?
I mean, like, it's been really nice. I don't want to say, like, I've watched him, like, grow up or anything, but, like, watching him since last year and, like, the kind of player he's becoming, him and the, like, him, Will Smith, I can't remember, I think Liljegren, think he's another forward. Like watching all of them work, kind of cool. It's kind of neat. It's been neat watching everything gel together. Not to mention that ASCII and I can't remember Ned. They call him Ned. Playing very well right now.
Yeah. I got to get Dan on. I got to text him. I got to get him on again. Dan Rizanowski talking about the Sharks team. A lot of momentum for this team. So we'll get a chat around it. So
Sharks are fun.
Sharks are fun. They got their second period coming up on 790, so go switch to that. Great show, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on, Phil.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Good job, production team.
Good job, production team.
Yes, sir.
And once again, happy Veterans Day to all the veterans who are listening, and especially to Jorge, who's on the other side.
The boy.
Oh, there you go. We'll be back tomorrow, 3 p.m. on 1430. For that, have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Fresno County is filled with talent, but opportunity